good afternoon, good evening, good morning, any time a day. This is Nafedima again. We don't come to una with another edition of Social Media Review. Last week we'll not be able to come because last week was a holiday, Labor Day in America, and we've been get a lot of engagements. Them, we all most of we especially the show them based in America, so we get a lot of engagements them. So sorry for if we disappoint you now, but it was beyond our control. So today we get Bokutin for Talkbot. We tell God thank you again for another day. We tell God thank you for life. We tell God thank you for all things because they say the book then tell we say in all things give thanks. In all things tell Papa God thing give the Almighty Allah tell and thank you because now in know what you doing because some things that they happen for a reason beyond our control. But we say Alhamdulillah, we say tell God thank you, we say glory be to God. Anyone who say you day na day you day, I know they tell you how for be. But first, before we go to me calls them, I want beg una follow una share for we the page, una share on WhatsApp, we there on not WhatsApp, we on Facebook Live, like one they watch we saw. Some people and they watch we on Twitter, some people and they watch we on YouTube, some people and they watch we on Instagram. Any sign of the platform where you they watch we from, please wanna share let we can join the conversation. And today we get boku in the board first. Lab made and tell una ado. We know say corona they happen at the world. Corona they happen. We don't talk about Corona. Say the world no able control it. It just they break into order. It just they mutate into order. Lily one day. But we they pray to God. We they trust God. We they do with part, and God go doing your. So we get for listening to what they tell we. We get for heed to the things that the health people, the and the people then una lily tongue and lily country they own a day. Then they tell we waiting for do let we day and then let we believe God say God go do the rest for we. Yesterday was September 11th. It was a somber day. It was a somber day for me because I remember and I go ask me calls then where were they on September 11, 2001. And I remember I was in Fort Hood. I was in Fort Hood in Texas. And I don't come up PT, which is you dey go morning for exercise 6 a.m. to 7:30, 1 hour 30 minutes. We don't exercise done. We kind of house. I lived on post, so I kind of house. I can't take shower, get dressed, getting ready to go. And on my way back to the motor pool for go report for duty at 9 a.m., I was on my radio and I heard hour 8. I think it was 8:49 or 8:45, something like that. The first hour hit. Everything changed in the world. Everything changed. America stuck in 20 years of war. Then they withdraw now. Thousands of people they don't die everywhere in the world. The world changed. The world they're gonna plane with life change. Things happen and with life change because America not ever believe say this go happen to them in their own backyard. People then come, stranger then come, then do what's in the reason. Because sometimes in life we do things, but Pekin, let remember say Pekin, 90 ton big man. And when Pekin turn big man, carry the pains of his father, the unfinished business of his father. Then they come for carry retaliate and then do to the world, everybody see him and the world change. The world they travel, the world they do things, the world everywhere you did, a plane, a this, everything change. Everything change. So if it happened to America, they happened to it. And one thing I know, war not in a war. No matter how mighty you are, you're gonna have people that are dead. You have people with scars, visible and invisible battle wounds. People have it. But Sla left that side for us. Also yesterday, among we get with wonderful, my co-host, the very controversial way some people not like him. Like I can say, I don't get no permanent friend. I don't get. Yesterday is we tell God thank you for in life. We say Alhamdulillah for in life. because 72 years is a blessing for live till 72 years in good health. And Italic say, I can tell him, I say the past 3 years, God changed you close. God changed you close, because sometimes even your enemies that fight against you will come to celebrate you. And as much as sometimes me and Kutubu, I can say, hey Kutubu, why you talk so? Down there we can go back and forth. I can disagree with her. But it do the thing God put on there for do the thing where it do, when it try for change in your life. And yesterday a bunch of people that we grew up with, a bunch of friends, then decide for celebrate them just like that. Kutubu Kambolo can celebrate you. And when people celebrate you, it's a good feeling for no say people celebrate you. So we join the VOS family. Me who people there yesterday, we gather, and all the other one them, we gather for celebrate Kutubu. For sure, say we appreciate them. So we get for raise we glass at the end of the show to health, to more grace, to abundance, to long healthy life, for let we continue, and the wisdom of God for they overarm, for let it always strive for do the right thing and speak the truth, no matter how hard it might be. Because VOS is a platform. We might not all agree. I'm listening yesterday to all these people speak on September 11, wonderful things. We have diversity. If only we can embrace our diversities. If only we can respect one another's feelings. And if only we stop for trample on people and toes past certain things, because people interpret and see things different in life. But unfortunately, human beings don't think like that. We get for canto because we wake up Saturday night, we go sleep Sunday morning. Last week Sunday, we hear wetin happen in Guinea. The world they talk about them. Africa talk about them. People then they talk about them. So man say yes, God thank you, then celebrate Colonel Dumbuya. Then the other one they say no, enough for do so. The law say, the law say. But then we get for ask the question. The African Union they will get. Will they look they all waiting at the impact, waiting this don't happen. Now the impact of this coup what happens so now the region of Africa as a whole. We therefore can talk about that. We also therefore talk about the European Union being sponsor Sierra Leone for being school them. We see them commission the school them. That's a good thing. Because we begin to get for land, because the battle of Africa is in our minds. The battle, the bondage, the blockage of Africa, we stuck in our heads. But if you get wisdom, if you get education, if you get knowledge, for free, you country, you continent. Because for the longest time, we just they go not the same way. So that bring me co-host them. Let them tell plenty I do. Then we can't talk about this thing here. So waiting at the impact. Waiting at the impact of school year, so we happen in Guinea. Now the sub-region of West Africa. Impact then they think then they we'll get for talk about. You know, with the talk and like we see them. Now we your opinion. We they go by what we see and the facts that we're not gone and we try for analyze them. You might see it's different, it's okay. But when you can you cannot attack nobody saying for BOD or for SLPP day or for C4C day or for KKY NGC day. This is about Sierra Leone here. This is the mission. We're putting it on the plate. Waiting we get for do, waiting at the impact, waiting at the thing that we'll get for do. Now we don't country for let no candy. Because we fought 11 years of senseless war. Because of things them when we government after so la pass and to me calls them. Let them tell una adu, una share, una call una people them. Let we can talk, let we can rub more small bits. Because this is important. And we don't see all over Africa then they talk about her. We see a professor in Ghana, we get for talk about that. They don't make him prediction. Before even this school happen, they don't make him prediction. Because the way where we ECOWAS there, we other things who can't talk. Mr. Shulon, sir, I bring you in. Tell them.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever in the part of the world on a day. As usual, this na an interactive type of broadcast where we all know, so you can call, you can ask questions. This is being done live. And as Ms. Fadima say, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're in a lot of medium. So whichever is convenient for you. Hopefully in time we will be on the radio as we've been trying to do, which is part of the difficulty in doing business in Sierra Leone in particular. If they'll take years trying to get on the radio, they don't make things easy. Then they talk about diaspora. But that's a different topic. So as Ms. Fadima indicates, we'll get quite a few topics, the most important of which will have to do with the impact of the coup in Guinea, since we are not only neighbors, which you would call immediate neighbors, we share common boundary. So which impact that will get, and Guinea share common boundary also with Liberia, so, and then with other countries. So we just want to know whose impact, if any, this coup will get. Is bound to have an impact, positively or negatively, but we want to know. And in that conversation, there are all kinds of conversations. People talking about not to Guinean soldiers, they make the coup, then see French, white people, and they then see Americans. All of that we will talk, whether that is significant, whether that is relevant, whether that is material, or whether none of that is relevant at all. And so that now some important topic we will hope some of them will get some idea about. So that said, I hope at the end of the show we will have contributed towards each other's ideas, or achieve the goal of this show, which is to make meaningful contribution, putting Sierra Leone first. Not to put APC, not to put SLPP, not to put C4C, not to put NGC, because these are all ridiculous affiliation and association. Become a Sierra Leonean first, not to waiting important for a party. Wait for 60 years, we just say that thinking they not do any good, and we still can't deviate from that. So let's start thinking of ourselves as Sierra Leonean, and regardless of who is at the top. In fact, the tribe should be so infinitesimal that we're not for even, well, I hope we will come to the day where we go, we're not going to even know the tribe to which the president of the country belongs or come from. That we would just know saying as Sierra Leonean, and that's what matters. And until we change our way of thinking, we're going to have problems. We're not going to think, because with thought process, with attitude, now get we, the way we think, now go break barriers. And so if we just see ourselves as divided people who think the only thing that is important, now we strive, whether then at the beginning or at the head, now that matter, well, we will see how much that will yield to it. But until we begin to think in terms of the best man for the job, and in tribe no matter, ideas and in vision for the country, and in character and in integrity, identity for the look for. Not to begin justify where APC chief money. Oh, I support APC, they're not chief money. Now SLPP the chief. Where SLPP chief money? Oh, I support SLPP. SLPP not the chief. Well, if we engage in any silly, deliberate abdication of we own responsibility as citizens, then it will come back for Huntway. So that said, I hope when I go enjoy the show. So turning over to the other co-host, Professor Kutubu. Professor Kutubu, as Ms. Fadima indicates, became 1 year younger yesterday. So and he looks pretty good for age. So I don't have to announce his age. He's at liberty to announce it himself, but I can only go as far as saying he looks
It's
very
in our
good.
public records.
Well, okay. So I'm not going to be the announcer. Let them search or he can tell them. But Professor, you look good. And we all wish you not only a happy birthday, which is belated, but we wish you many more such birthdays with good health and consciousness of what's going on of your surrounding, because life don't mean much if you don't know if you're in this world or next world. But when you are conscious and you are able and you are healthy, that's true blessings. And for the length of time you don't live on this earth, that of itself is tremendous blessing. So we wish you God blessing. I turn it over to Professor Kutubu.
Thank you very much. I mean, two wonderful colleagues then. And of course, like the man say, all we need for now for left this part, because the part nine win this part. Any two do we tell the party, then the year can I do the then can I sign the be all and end all, the alpha and omega, then they made a decision there. All we give you now for 10 and thank you for that. You know, promise for yesterday. Now today we will do that so. So for this day, you don't know they are so today. We'll tell and thank you, and we look forward to a very robust, enlightening discussion and work all because now your contribution is only key. Now this we call participatory democracy. The panel all come the politician and go for the cabinet table. James for be ambassadors for all contribute. So now a positive contribution. So with that, back to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, they get one saying where they can say. They say don't waste your energy on negativity. Sometimes people come, they throw words, they throw comments, you know. But you know, we rise above because Michelle Obama say when they go low, you go high. So some comments there, I will not respond to them. I see them, not that I don't see them, but I don't respond to them because that's too much energy. It takes too much energy, you know. For sit down here and put your face because some people are cowards. Then they all kind name them. Then they behind the camera. Then get mask on their face talk. But we team here, we they talk what we see, what in good, we they talk and what in bad, we they talk and the bad boku pass the good. We can for talk them. Of course, negative news they sell. Negative news, people wire with the talk them. Because we get for land for pull we save come on at the negative and we will save kind of the positive. So I don't waste my time on those things. But let we go to up. Cheers to you again, Professor. Cheers to you, sir. We wake up Sunday morning, all over the thing, we see a young soldier shot. I looked at him, I was like, whoa, this is my kind of soldier. He's shot, looking sharp. They say it don't take over. And I want to make this, I don't support whatever, but to each its own. Everybody they do what he feel for do. Okay? And this man looking sharp, if una can put this man in picture up for we. I looked at him, I was like, this is not an African soldier, because then I found out he studied in France, in France, he they serve the forces, and then American soldiers, they train him. He looking sharp. This is how a soldier should look. Just the appearance of a soldier. He presence, he command presence when you see him. Nice, tall, black, young guy. This is a person that the president of the former president, when they don't pull and come off force na power, they don't overthrow him. And Mr. Alpha Conde is 83 years old. This man say, I need you for can be a special forces because he wants to make himself the supreme, he get the strongest army. Even if the world cannot protect prevent certain things them. And this man left outside in France. He come for can serve in country. But what he see, this former president here they do, he not sit well with her. He look at it like it is not right. He look and say, this president, if I don't do 2 terms as the constitution say, but this man say no, and they go manipulate the constitution, and they go make whatever, then play like out, then they play in them parliaments, then Africa, then go make him 3rd term president. And this guy, in conscience, you know, sometimes people get conscience, and this man, I think, he takes things from how they call this Rawlings, late President Rawlings, Jerry Rawlings in playbook. You know, certain time that the soldier they make them for protect and defend the constitution of a country, and for defend from foreign and domestic enemies, and for secure the borders of the country. That's the job of a soldier. And this man take him upon himself, because even they say no for overthrow, and they say that the soldier they no more get right really for overthrow, because civilian they go hold you for treason. But the soldier can do it if he sees say then they violate the constitution. So this man take up upon himself, like he said in his speech where he because of all the things that they do to the people of Guinea, how this man don't bastardize the constitution, and not sit well with him and you other soldiers. So he decide to take the law into his own hands. Now we get union there. What he make them? He make them union and there. Now for let peace go there, we're going able for talk. Let the big one they not take advantage of the small one. Let the country then they run. Let countries of Africa they run. You get the African Union, the West African Union. You get the one for one all over on it. But we the people of Africa, we they see how we lead them. They take advantage of people them. We they see where the leader them they do. So what is the impact of this coup we don't can now? Because we get union them, but when these leaders did what they did, nobody. Now this young guy don't go liberating people, and we saw the Guineans coming out and celebrating and jubilating. Now we ECOWAS don't come say this man for hand over power together with the AU and the ECOWAS. And we your minister, foreign minister, self don't condemn. But then they are going left into Kutubu because they make an audio, I go left and let go address that side. I go left Kutubu lay address that side. But what is the impact of this thing here so? What is the impact, the immediate impact we go forget? Because we know say many other African countries, they go through the same thing where Guinea they go through so. And there's a professor in Ghana where we not already predict this thing, what they call Professor Kwesi Ani. Professor Kwesi Ani right say, he said the way where ECOWAS they look the other way of things. The way where AU they look the other way, where the leader then they do something, then they look like they know they see. This therefore bring uprising in Africa. We they see the Africa country, we see Ivory Coast, we they see Uganda, we they see Cameroon, we they see things there. Inside we say young country, we they see half of things there where they be. We they see. But they want them there. Then decide for take another own hand. Now the social media is divided. Some people they all say, we all army them, the Boy Scout, therefore don't do and so, therefore don't do and so, therefore don't do and so. Some people then they say, yes, they're wrong, they don't for do so, the constitution are elected president, therefore get in term. But this man in Guinea, this young gentleman, take and say, no. This is not right. I want to bring unity to the people. I want to bring economic equality to the people. I want for let we respect the rule and the rule of law and the constitution. We cannot buy. If I get for die, I go there, but we cannot sit by. I want for go liberate me people. This is my job as a soldier, and I take my oath seriously. That's why he did what he did. Now, in reason that day where he announced to we say that reason day where he do. What did he do? So before I show you, we get a video where we are Salone soldier. A woman, a young woman, well, maybe she's in a middle age now, come out and make an audio. We will play down the phone now. It's a short 2-minute video. But I think she made some points there. And when I listen to her, as a soldier, myself, as a veteran, because I heard her story, in any war, there are battle scars. Whether seen or unseen, it can be visible, it can be visible. But there are battle scars. You know, get for papers, you get cotton and cut foot. Then get seen what they call trauma. Then get seen what they call PTSD, where the mind, the scar. It is a battle thing. And I cry for him. And the age where he say at 12 years old, that means he was a child soldier. He said, don't begin fight war. So he know they go take arms for go overthrow we government. So let we bring quick Professor and Mr. Shilon. I bring Professor first. Let him tell me on your own what in are the impact, what in are this thing, how you see the school, and what do you think are the impact? Because the phone line are the open them. Because this is a conversation we have to have. And we leaders then get for listen to this. We leaders have to hear this. Because this is what brings things them. They grow and grow and grow, and it becomes something will go out of control. We have to talk about these things. We've been getting reconciliation. When the war done, they sit down, then puts the things them where make the war happen. And as leaders, it is the responsibility of the citizens as well as the leaders for make sure say then kind thing then they not go out of control again. The war. Nobody wins in war. Nobody. So, Professor, I'll bring you into this Guinea'S Coup. Like you like 3 minutes. Let you just rub more small. Then I go give me session. Then we play this girl in video. Let we hear what we on soldier, one of we on soldier then say. And then we go open the phone line to with people then. Because why are you on a voice? What's in the impact? What's in the potential? Is it going to embolden people? Now the region, other country, they want to go through the same thing. Is it going to embolden people? The leader themselves, is this a warning to the leaders that they should be treating their people right? Because 2 terms should be 2 terms. We for treat with people the right. When something there, who say for what they call human rights violation, we get for make sure say as a allow that under we watch. That's what a good leader does. But oh yeah, the stories are the same all over Africa. All over Africa. Professor, I pass on to you, sir.
2 years ago, Dr. Ablaikon said he asked a fundamental in a meeting. He said, if an Arab Spring, African Spring. Now, we go back small. Before 1966, Ghana, the same thing happened. People they get tired of total rule. One man dominating the whole country. And quickly, when they talk about rape, we get 2 sorts of rape. We get the moral rape. A man will force himself by a woman against the culture. You get another, rape where one person go rape all country, one leader, he raped everybody in the country. He used the people them against the will. Now, so many ways argument done. The AU, the ECOWAS, where they come, they want to take this smaller position now, and they remind them 2000, And 07, waiting them in lay out. They want the leaders, extending you time, all the conditions. Why? But they also they talk plainly. When you term the election, the whole office go. This is what, as well as ECOWAS. Now the fundamental ask now for we will ask whether if I okay, and when simple as it's simple. Justified? Yes, totally justified. Now the question, we go from there. What we need now for do is for help people that we don't come in office in Guinea. Let them, begin.
Professor, you the break so bad. I go ask you, can you log out and come back in, please, while Mr. Shillong
No
talk
problem.
the issue? Because you're breaking
No
up so
problem.
bad. So just log
No
out and
problem.
come back on. Okay, Mr. Shillong, let we begin the talk. Take Professor come back in because even the talk
Thank
about,
you.
the
Thank you
stuff.
very
So
much,
what
Mr. Adema.
are your take on the? Go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much. This coup, in line with which the professor be say, it's just amazing that we know they change we way of thinking. We know they change we way of treating ourselves. We get some, to me, watching we get now West Africa, now just a simple problem of lack of vision. Because you see, to be a leader, not to just for be in front, but you forget the foresight, you forget dream, you forget a vision for your country. Also, you want to take that country for the betterment of the country, not to a dream for the destruction of the country. What we are lacking in that particular region there, we have not been fortunate as yet to get a leader in Sierra Leone, in Guinea, in even Liberia, as things are, someone who will articulate a vision of the people being raised to a decent standard of living, being raised to a standard of equal opportunity, being raised to a future whereby every child or every home will be able to at least not struggle for food on the table or health or education. The problem is when we get all them professors there where they come, then job, now for figure out ways. That's the essence of education. Not to forget impose your professorial paper where you get at the wall for say you learn book. Then say the taste of the pudding lies in the eating. You are being given these positions for come up with some resourcefulness, for craft ways, how for improve. I mean, that's the one, info to govern is only one direction. Any other direction is a misdirection. First of all, your motivation for be only one purpose, to come and serve for the betterment of your people. That should be the only tool for motivate anybody for going to public service, to serve. That's one. We know 99% of people are to go into public service. That's not their motivation. I mean, let's face it, because this is time for some frank talk. 99% of these guys are going into politics because it's the quickest way for shortcut the process and become wealthy. Some do it, then they do a highly part of the age as young politicians. Some they do them at the latter part of the age when all else does fail. And we know this because of the way they respond to situations. We know this the way they address issues that are foreseeable and preventable if they are bad, are the lack of even accountability to the people, the very people, and forgetting the fact that the power that you get as a minister, as a president, is the people's power. It's not your power. You are there as long as the people are pleased with you. And one other comment I can say, when you get a country like we, with at least 17 tribes, are you telling me Professor Francis and all these guys who said they've taught about all the big universities in the world cannot come up with a formula by which a president doesn't have to be so outlandish in handing positions to just one tribe? Don't they have the integrity and the decency and the know-how to say, no, Mr. President, there are better ways we can do it? Don't they realize that to be president for one tribe is an abuse of the power and an insult to the intelligence of their own tribe, as well as the entire country? And don't they realize that it makes them look ridiculous in the eyes of the world? Why do you think in the West, like in America, we make big issue about black and white? When the people or a president tend for give too much positions to one race and leaving out the other race, people raise issues about that. When the president begin to give too much position to one gender, and when there are qualified people in the other gender, this is not a difficult thing to fix. President Bill does not have to have 98% of or 70% of in cabinet and in top positions there handed to many people. It's an insult to the rest of the people. I mean, are they that lacking in creativity that they cannot find a more secure way? What kind of sense of insecurity is that? People like me will care less what the tribe of the president is. I don't care. I just want competence. And when you just surround yourself with people and you say you share the same native dialect with, because that's all the commonality. And you know, even the talk in terms of giving people in the right position, work for help the country, that shows me a lack of vision. So now the Guinean situation, this young man, Doumbouya, we just overthrew Alpha Conde, Alpha Conde is about 83, this young man is 33. Definitely at the grandchild level of Alpha Conde. So which means Alpha Conde, young Pekin, them, old enough for born this guy. Okay? Isn't that amazing? At an 83-year-old man, ending or getting close to the end of his life, still has no dream for his country. Instead, it try to tie up generations upon generations upon generations. I know. Alpha Conde was in the opposition. In the opposition, what our African countries do, or opposition people do, they complain all the time about the ills of the government, the bad thing that the government do, and asking for opportunity. He was there. Then he came to power. Clearly, there was a document called the Constitution, where say now 2 terms. Then after those 2 terms finish, all they think about doing for a country, now for insulting country, the intelligence by casting aside and kicking aside the Constitution and say, I will go a 3rd term. And this is a matter of common sense. Had he been left to finish in 3rd term, he would have gone the 4th term, the 5th term. That's what's happening with the guy in Uganda, Museveni. Total disregard of your country, total disregard of the welfare of the people. And now, there is a caveat to what I just said. There are times where you might have what you call a progressive dictator, like in Rwanda. Okay, I'm not advocating that, but this man, anybody who don't know much about Rwanda, go there and read. We had a civil war. We lost about 200,000 or 250,000. They lost 1 million or more. He took over. He is still the man in power, but Rwanda is the most, or one of the most progressive countries in the world. the world, let alone in Africa. He is a dictator because there is, now he still hold on to power and not get time limit, but he has, you can see the progress in the country. So in Alpha Conde's own situation, you can't even say anything like that. So why can't we just respect the rule of law? Why can't we give meaning to that piece of document we call Constitution? Why is it that when you go argue your way from opposition, when you kind of power now, then you begin to find a way how to destroy that document today, where you be rely on will bring you in a power? You spend all your energy. And look at the circumstance in which they overthrew this man, which is shameful. And we have to talk to that, about the immorality of we African leaders then. At 83, my girlfriend business you depend, we should say, you're not serious. You are not serious at all. Country business not your priority. So it's time for we to begin to watch the behavior of our leaders then. Now there are people, this thing about Gidigo and Fuller, no country, even if you end up with a Fuller president, if he looks out just for the first and leave out the other tribes, it's just time. It will boil over. You cannot do that. When you become president, you have to start thinking from day one and get the best and the brightest. The people that go to the best universities, the best experience for say, here's the situation. One of the only ways how I'm not going to make every tribe happy, but I can able to defend myself, say I protect and I'm president for all the people, not some of the people. If the Professor Francis in Sierra Leone, if they not get that level of creativity there, it doesn't matter where they've taught school. If some of them guys here who went to Oxford and Cambridge, and I'm referring to them because they said to whom much is given, much is expected. Because supposed to be the guys who went to the best schools, they're supposed to be the cream de la cream among we. So we expect for all them to the highest standard of highest level. So the trouble when we get in Australia is people go, they get out in college degree, you do not see any kind of creativity. This is the thing I do not understand whatsoever. So I am saying the coup, I will stop part of them with respect to ECOWAS. I will talk about that, Professor Kutubu talk, after Ms. Fadima talk, and maybe after we get called. So I will deal with that aspect, because if I keep addressing it, I will not give anybody a chance to talk.
Sir.
So
yes, sir. Thank you so much. Because I'm going to talk on the ineffectiveness of ECOWAS them, looking at the potential impact, because like we say, the ECOWAS are not doing what they're supposed to do for be proactive, so that then things are not going to happen. Because if then they do them work well, then they pay them for certain things, they know they happen. Yes, we get diversity. Yes, we get for include everybody. Everybody not get for happy. But if majority of the people happy, if majority of the people feel included, to the bell curve, there's always exceptions. They get majority of the people in the middle, and then you get to the left of the right of the bell curve, when are the excess outside, with some too extreme on either side. But you have to these organizations were formed and founded. Professor, I'm not saying you don't come back, but you've been the talk, so like give you a chance for continue. But the ineffectiveness, waiting at the impact, what we get forget, what you get for expect, waiting for look out for, and waiting for do for prevent happen again. Because our ECOWAS, our AU, they just let we go no more. Professor, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Like I been talk earlier, is the AU and OAU or ECOWAS, whatever. This is a full of contradiction and a full of moral confusion. I can give you an example. In 2007, they come up with all this fine, prints when we go only call and jamboree, then they come up with that. And foremost, they talk say, leaders not for extending term, when election done for go. It did it. Now the 2000 Accord as well as the 2007 Accord, it did it. When they all agree. Okay, now we ask the question, who saw una be there where Alpha Conde do all that here? Why if una really want to stand on the moral high ground, una want to take the moral leadership, una let people they take una seriously, why una not be the thing? The way how they act to, then all the time they know they go to the root cause. They know they go there. Now the symptoms that they go to, and when you not go to the root cause of any problem, you try for really find out. You only try for put band-aid, it doesn't work. Now this year, what they need for do, if they want so much take this moral position, when a leader is time out, then for all of them for you, no, we not going to allow you for let you contest any election. Now so if they get me where Alpha Conde for the stand trial now for the human rights violation then people then they where they die because he want to entrench himself in power. What we need for do now, we need for encourage these new people that we don't come. Yes, at the point in time, we not try come up with a fine constitution, we not try work towards democracy for handover power so that way, that because the soldier, like they say, they also when OSC fail, we don't get no choice. Now the armed forces will come there, then they come that they call stopgap measure. When we come, we arrange the thing and then hand over power back. We see that happen in Zimbabwe. That old crazy part, we not you want go. We see when they shake them small. After they not shake them down, then the people they get. So as far as me concerned, Kutubu concerned, this 100% I support them, and to my again I'll continue for supporting and denounce the AU as ECOWAS as hypocrites. The people, in fact, 90% of where now dictators them take a man like Museveni, take a man like Paul Biya. Paul Biya not even inside the country. Iki Yoka no more. Let the elector they go back. Alessani Ouattara. In fact, stay away kind of the same thing. So they are nothing but a bunch of hypocrites where maybe not even broadcasting. Let that man not even pay them any mind. Let it just work for the people there because you don't can't liberate it. And finally, a man like President Nana Akufo-Addo insisting for be part of it because he own daddy. And now they read history, when I study political history of Ghana, go recall what they call the Big Six. In Dadina be part of the Big Six, where Kwame Nkrumah doing a time of the totalitarian rule, where they all they support the Hamburg. So then he said benefit from that when when Afrifa they come on power February 24, 1966, 9 liberates them. So as far as me concerned, let God put a blessing on the people there. And any other the regret no more get when they not been grabbed away they in underwear or inside in pajamas when they not grab and commodity. Now the only regrets that. Back to you guys.
So then is it to say that the leaders, the ECOWAS and the AU, they're just in a reaction mode right now? They talk just for talk. Do they really
talk? Yes, that's it.
Is it just like the jamboree that you say is just a jamboree?
Jamboree, I no more come until they don't come back to the United Nations for eat boku one, go lead on and then fancy hotel them, talk boku trash, and let big bills and people then go back. But nothing will take place. If we don't send that this, stand by them. Because if we have been see Alpha Conde, they do that thing. Why now I go after this guy? Didn't I make some of we condemn we own president as SALONE? As well as a foreign minister, say if will be the last person for even the job of coup business.
So now we go to Dande quick because Professor David Francis come out and denounce the coup in Guinea, and you make an audio where really go wide and far. Where I know say people and call you say can they have permission to broadcast them na their own private all over outside and day. So explain to the people that we don't know, waiting at the team, just summarize and quick. Waiting you been say with that thing, waiting at your own take on beyond David Francis when a foreign minister, waiting is say about the coup and waiting at your own take on that this.
Well, when I listen to
the one that we're not yet and then there's
okay, well the basis for that was that first I accused David Francis and for wake up and foreign policy or international column, they don't get standing because you not get what it for prosecute foreign policy. They don't get them. Where they prosecute foreign policy, you have forget credible army, but we now a beggar society. We are Pagbenko, we are the autumn, now receive we receive. So that's in other ways, you get for in time. So you look at above all, President Biono for be part of this because we'll remind them of April 29, 1992. They'll go remind them again what happened again 1996. All in be part of this. So now make condemn them all as nothing but big hypocrites. Back to you.
Thank you very much, sir. So now we play Mr. Shilon quick if you get anything for ad. Because one play the audio and the video quickly with people that
Go ahead, man.
The phone lines are
Go
open.
ahead.
The people Makala will join the conversation. Let us join the conversation. Let us give our input. What do you wanna think? What is the potential impact on the school, on the sub-region, and beyond Africa? All over Africa. Mr. Shilon quick before we play this audio quick.
Now we can play the audio. I will reserve my comments
Okay, so
after the audio.
Mr. Back there, please give me the audio quick. Let me listen. Let me listen quick. This.
To me, listeners and supporters, fans, well wishers, very pleasant good evening to all. This is the evening edition of the SALONE Talk Forum where they deal with issues coming in analysis. Kutubu Kurumana in they do the presentation and the focus na foreign affairs. Our SALONE Foreign Minister Dr. David Francis stands strongly condemned for in blatant interference into the domestic politics of a sovereign nation. SALONE not get the moral high ground, stand on the moral high ground for dictate to Guinea which kind of a government they forget, not to their own business standing. In any case, the record of human rights, also of this administration, where the foreign minister they try for projection that not to anything where anybody go write home about, and even their own practice of democracy, not to anything where somebody go write home about. Dr. David Francis, for the longest time, where he did around this government here, so it also the blatant violation of human rights, constitutional violations then, and democratic norms on the part of Alpha Conde. Dr. David Francis, they all be see where this man here, they violate the human rights of citizens of Guinea. We see how he bulldozed away forget a third term at the expense and detriment of fellow citizens. Usa Dr. David Francis them in day, why they not be condemn him? Why they not be tell Alpha Conde say he wrong for violate the constitution for a third term? The people then get a right for live in an atmosphere where free of that kind of Hitler and Stalin mentality, where Alpha Conde perpetrate against them. And like I say, SALONE not in that moral position for dictate anything to other country. Especially where you consider SALONE a beggar nation. But even what SALONE even they practice better foreign policy, because they don't even get a foreign policy machinery or mechanism or institutions where for getting that kind of a gravitas and they. SALONE you not get some. You not get a foreign policy institute na SALONE or empire na SALONE where they practice foreign policy where for give gravitas to SALONE for let them come dictate to other continents. After all, yes, what they call the principle of non-interference in the domestic affairs of other countries. Now, a non-aligned member with join that organization. Let the citizens of Guinea decide whether they want, not to SALONE for decide for them. And besides, SALONE is also called democracy, not to that, it's not strong in such a way that where then go dictate to people them. With the city cry where people they cry as SALONE. This very administration I will say in the Dr. David Francis Day. I mean, look at the noise where they are around them. They don't accuse them of all kind of violations them. So do we let Dr. David Francis let take care of SALONE problem first before he talk about Guinea.
the people in Guinea for condemn any country where put hand pan a business, because when this scumbag, when they call Alpha Conde, where even they violate the right, they not be say nothing. I mean, the logic of syllogism for tell and say, if it be okay for Lona zip it up, una not say nothing, where Alpha Conde, they browbeat people into submission. It violates the basic human rights. Una be remain quiet. This not the wrong time for Lona. I can't talk. This is the same thing where the great philosopher, English philosopher Edmund Burke talk say. He say all what evil need for let it survive, for let good people they're not saying, and that is what the hypocritical country in the Canada where Alpha Conde be they do that today. You guys say una not been suffer from astigmatism, una ya not be get jege, una de siso kojuma koju, una de yeri waiting the happen the people in Guinea. So when this young man not come, they try for do things properly. We are left the man suffer. Waiting we expect Dr. David Francis for do. Yes, foresee if they will acquire the young man, let them try for lay the structure and foundation for return to a democratic form of government where based on the rule of law, free and fair election, where totally unencumbered by then kind of a thing where Alpha Conde go do. So whatever Dr. David Francis they stand strongly condemned, and we will ice them. We believe in human rights. We believe for live in a society where free of that Hitler and Stalin mentality, where we see scumbags like Alpha Conde go perpetrate against the people there. Now the wrong time this for let David Francis put more per people country. And besides, who's foreign policy where SALONE practice? SALONE a beggar nation. Also they work at the beg, they go outside the beg. So which country SALONE get for go prosecute foreign policy? When I beg, then they beg. They not even get the institute for do that. The so-called Ministry of Foreign Affairs in SALONE is anything but a foreign ministry. You not get specialists. They know they day. They know they day. In a country like Nigeria and Ghana, they talk because they get high season career foreign policy expert, but we not get no foreign policy expert inside SALONE foreign ministry. I know about the ministry up in and out. I know about them. Nothing all day. Nothing all day. Now just any regular ministry. Nothing all day where they make now the international stage where go put Dr. David Francis in that kind of a pedestal. No way. No way. No way. SALONE no get that kind of a foreign policy practice where they go put them at that kind of a pedestal for let the result to this grandstanding and obfuscation here. So Dr. David Francis stand condemned in the strongest possible term for a
well, my name na Tutuge, a soldier. I want for say to SALONE people them. Say we they forget quick. We they really forget. And so they feel them for the innocent people that will be lost their life during the Civil War from 1991 to this time. And they feel them for the soldiers that will die. And they also feel them for the soldiers that will get total damage, everlasting damage. Me when they talk to now, I joined the army in 1991, na Darumwa Barracks, Tiger Battalion at that time. During Marie Conte in time, I see His Excellency as a lieutenant na Mendeke Magaula. I know waiting at the top, but una where they inside soldier then say we na Boy Scouts, we no want do waiting the Guinea soldiers and do. Yes, because where some few people that be overthrow Tijankaba, we suffer the consequences. They run after we go na bush. Jet a hip cross the bumper we get height past us for kill we because Tijan Kaba not be take easy. He say like na fall limit in this country. He ready for ruler, but he no go left and because wait happen a democratic elected president. Likewise, Mother be a democratic elected president. We na soldiers for God's sake. We na left for inside tree. We dey serve the government of the day all over na media. Soldiers, SALONE soldier, dem na Boy Scouts, na this, na that. No problem, we na Boy Scouts. But I dey talk with pain na my heart. I know wetin war do me. I joined this army at the age of 12 years as a small pikin. I lost all my childhood. And then I war front. They felt. I know wetin I go through. I know would I die by the war. Now this country. Now they incite we for go fight war, for go overthrow democratic elected presidents. We not to full man them. Even the soldiers them, where they not be born there during their 10 and day, will be the suffer in this country. They not go do one. Not to talk of we will go through everything in our life. We not go do one. Me they assure una, we not go do one. Una left for inside we. Una left for inside to get life, we get family. If una know they think about una picking a future, who they think about to picking a future, we not go do one. Now me say so.
Wow. That is the video that brought me to tears in many, many ways, because I say the battle scars of war, sometimes it's unseen. You're not going to see your uncaught mind. When the mind is messed up, it's messed up for life. When you're traumatized for life. The young lady don't speak within NC because of experience we don't get. So you know, advocate for war. He say, and then they call now the social media for let SALONE soldier do the same, and then they respond of one of the SALONE soldiers. But also we agree with Professor in audio. Then one the way they call say Professor Day against APC when this administration Professor Kutubu they shield this because Professor Namende they make him order them. Everybody don't attack him in many ways. This is not one of the judges like I tell you now. Kutubu always say one thing I like about him. He say I don't have a permanent friend, I have a permanent enemy. If something need to be spoken and I feel saying that the truth and the right thing, I will not be afraid to stand alone and call it like I see it. So this is one of the examples for let una know say it is not only about APC or SLPP, it is about the country, Professor in the foundation of the things that the leaders then they do. And we know say in previous this last past administration, Samsumana made an audio we come out we talk say because Anakama Buango a third time. Now that's make them pull and come out and President Komatel and say he go kill him in Masana grave. Whether a lie or true, now the Vice President President Komano can defend himself. So because President Komano can defend himself, we take and say that true. And then we will not also hear this administration with the talk of well, this election we get for come, they get for the election until 2023, the constitution say 5 years. But they say because the corona come, because Anes Koma themselves not been get Ebola been there, la 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 la. Let us do the things that the book say. Let us fight by the people. 3 year, 4 year. American Ayaso Corona Day, it killed thousands of people. But when it comes to election day, nothing no stop her. The constitution say every 4 years they forgot to the polls. Let we begin on now waiting with the puts now word. Let we word be reward. Let we have integrity. People get upset. These are the things that they do, the injustice, the stuff. These are the things that they do that make things. This young woman is saying, even if I have the right to defend, I will not go there because I went through war and I know the suffer what I suffer. And nobody, gets no compensation, gets no nothing. They know they take care of you, so why they go die for something, why for die for? You have the people that are bold, that are ready to give their lives for advantage. Some people, they die for advantage. Some people, they embolden for advantage. So we leader then get for be careful. We leader then get for try, for treat people them the right way. Give the decency human being the decency of human. May them maintain the decency of human beings. Let human beings be concerned, show say I care. Not so because you don't day up now, you go abuse people there at the bottom. Because when you push people to a corner, they will come out. That is human nature. I go take but so much, but then after that, I will not take it no more. You go mass me football for so long, your attention. You dey mass me foot, you continue for mass me foot. One day I get the strength for team up and fetch you. I don't care whose might, whose power you get. And then thing that they can bring war. Innocent people, then they die. On September 11, 2001, a bunch, about 20, because na four plane go. Two na the World Trade Center, one at the Pentagon, one at Pennsylvania. Each one of them get 5 terrorists there inside it. They hijack the plane and innocent people then die because they can't for revenge for whatever. Now they your language where they speak. Everybody gets a language. That's why they talk about inclusiveness. Bring everybody together. Everybody cannot make one feel saying and then they high past the other. Yes, we are not going to wear the same cloth all the time because we are different. But majority of the time, we forget the same opportunity. Like Mr. Shilon made a point at the same time. This is why they're fighting for human rights here in America, Usawide, and many other countries. Once upon a time, 400 years ago, a grab say it started the underground railroad. He said enough. Oh, no matter how mighty the people were, the slave owners were, they get gone and all thing. It gets the mind for begin say, we get for do better, we get for change. One person can change a voice. That's why when we step there in social media, we get for be careful what we would say, because every word is a seed planted. Every action is a seed planted. And so that seed will bear fruit. And when it bear fruit, sometimes we're not going to be able to handle the harvest. It will come home to roost. So these humans, these people that they put in charge, we forget fear. We forget because most of us are religious. Even if you're not religious, the scientists believe, say, the same thing what would they call God. Science not call God because they cannot prove it. But they say there is a greater force, greater than all of us. The universe, we attract whatever you've done unto me has already been done unto you. It will come back. Nothing we have. Energy is never destroyed nor lost. It will come back. It might not come back now, but it will come back. Somebody somewhere someday will be emboldened and say, no, I cannot take this money no more. It will come up in what's it called, and innocent people, they go die along the way. Innocent people, they go die because of one leader in wickedness, because of one leader in greediness, because of one politician, because once somebody said a word, because somebody did something that they didn't have no business doing. This is what happens. But we tell God, thank you, nobody not dying again. The professor say, encourage these people, let them build a democracy, let everybody be inclusive. Because I ask you, I pass on to you, Mr. Shilon, do we Sierra Leoneans, do we need like a national plan instead of this party plan? Because this party plan now other problem back again. This party can be scrap all waiting. So that they say one come. Everybody they can send a retirement fund inside SALONE money. Because that's what I see. Everybody is coming to guarantee their retirement fund inside with money. The things that should be done for the people are going to them and their personal waiting and call safe. We cannot have that. How long can our people keep going through this? How long? How long we only that the eye not go open? Like I say again, the blockage of Africa is in our heads, in our mind. The blockage is until we clean the gutters. That's why they call us presidents, then they call us shitholes. Until they clean the gutters, until we clean our minds and start doing right by people. Because you get power, no means say you for abuse them. Because I can do this, means say I for do them. No, we cannot be doing this. It's not right. It's not fair. We all have the innate right for do. We have the innate right to live freely. We all have the innate right. It's a God-given right. Not to because them put you in a power, means say you for abuse your power, you for use them for show might and strength, you for use them for say, I am this, I will make you this, like you na Pharaoh. But when God come, when the turn reach, when the people act, then you know say you don't have everything. Nothing is 100% life. I don't care if you have the mightiest army. I don't care. Somebody will bring you down. So they say we get called them, but Mr. Shilo, I know say you want to talk something quick before I give the call at them. Just I'll give you 3 minutes late. Just sorry. 3 minutes, sir. You are muted. Unmute yourself.
I can still hold off. We can take some of the
Okay.
calls. Then I
Okay,
will.
let me take
Yeah.
all of them. Callers, thank you so much. Like I say, this is not the voice of Sierra Leone. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you for being the listeners, the people that make comments on Facebook, on YouTube or whatever. We tell you thank you, because without you, this is not a platform away from home where we sound off, we talk with mind, and we for each solution where the government will pass on to them for later yeri, then get for yeri. We get for the ring and the yes. Sometimes there's some people tranga yes, broom broke na the yes. We get for make and take it go inside the head. Sometimes repetition, they make people do something right and learn something. So let me go to the callers. Thank you, caller. Thank you for our patient. What's in your name, please? And also they call me from.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, go ahead, sir. What's in your name, please? And also they call from, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, viewers. Good evening, Madam Fadima. My name is Abdullah. I had a call from New Jersey, US.
Yes, Mr. Abdullah. Good evening, sir. How are you? Long time. What do you get for it today, sir?
Yeah. Good. I want straightly go to the heading there where they see what are the potential impact of Guinea'S Coup on the sub-region. First,
yes, sir.
There's the possibility of the same mess will happen in any of the sub-regional countries then, because even some military members, they will not really think about that for one or two reasons within the face in the country, especially from them politicians. They're going to think, say, oh, it don't happen in Mali, it don't happen in Guinea, I think we can give them a try. That could be a potential impact. Another thing, incitement, just like this young, beautiful soldier with this emotional message just now. People then go around, we know to the military people then go send message of incitement. We go reach into the ears of some soldier man that will never think for do some stuff like them when they are. So these are some of the impacts then. Then will seem to be very small, but then very serious, because you don't know how serious it be until it happens. With that said, I just want react to Professor Kutubu in audio.
Yes, sir.
I believe the instability in one of the sub-regional countries might appear to stability in any of the sub-regional countries in another sub-region there. I don't care which are the problem, but a military for take gun and take power, nothing we with the whole world they try for discourage, and they're not fine, because even with the military government and the camp, the NPRC was an example where everybody feels them very good. Then come at a time where everybody dance for them. I remember meeting small, somebody told me we dance for them. But at the end of the day, one thing we feel them for, because they can't turn for the other thing else. Just one thing, because they hold that magic pipe where they speak. At the whole then just feel say constitution and nothing. That's in the way they hold the most powerful tool. So then a disadvantage for that's something where everybody for willing for discourage. I don't care waiting. We can suffer with differences in politics, but let we all encourage the fact say if somebody for come on a power lay be through the ballot box. Okay, yes, Professor Kutubu blame Professor Francis, the foreign minister, for interference or involvement in the coup in Guinea. As far as I am concerned, an officer is wrong. An officer SALONE forget a foreign policy institution, or for be a giant in the sub-region for talk something way wrong would happen to your neighbor. I mean, if you come out and make that condemnation, not saying one do, other world leaders can do it. So as far as I am concerned, and as much as I disagree with Professor Francis in many things, including in government, but I agree say he right. I don't care within our strength in the sub-region to come publicly and condemn anything where we all no go wish for happen to the country. So I disagree with Professor Kutubu in that sense, especially where Professor Kutubu quite recently in one post we shower praises on Professor Francis for foreign affairs activities, especially when recent one we undertaken at the US. So seeing the same Professor Kutubu condemning this man for taking the rights step. I mean, as much as, we agree with him, but not Professor Francis say, will take gun and put somebody in for a wrong to the point they criticize them, say, they don't get foreign policy institute in Sierra Leone, they like stand for criticize them. Anyway, I will call back. So are they against, I disagree in that sense. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Like I said, this is the voice of Sierra Leone. Everybody gets the way they see them, and that's what the beauty of this station here. I love it. Next caller, please. Good evening. What's your name and also you call from, please? Hello, caller. What's your name and also you call from, please? Hello, caller. Are they on the line?
Hello?
Yes, good evening. Good afternoon. Yes, caller, what's your name?
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, I'm calling from France. This is Mohamed.
Yes, Mr. Mohamed, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. I tell you thank you for what you do for the country when they work very hard for let come to go before. I tell you thank you so much. I tell you thank you. I tell you thank you. When all did another panel, when I not sleep for long see situation they go in that country. But there's one thing where it go on now the problem now when a very big problem I make a call where it go in that country where it create a very big problem. I want to pay attention to that problem again. The bank governor don't create a very big problem. People they die under, people they suffer. They don't hold on people their money. That Bitcoin issue. Here today people they suffer. I want to talk about that for this make a call. They create a very big problem now the whole country. Thousands of people they don't own the rent, the sound, they don't hold the money, they're not able to do anything so far about that. Because of they say they not get 10%. Because of 10%, and there is all proof to the effect. People they suffer, will not they try. Please will not pay attention to that problem because now one of them issues and they where they call problem at the country. Please. The president know of this because if they don't go there, they don't strike. They said that they set one, nobody know, they don't do nothing about that. The resident minister know because of the resident minister, and me the man say for let the gang half of the percentage of the money, the man say no go down. Now people the money, they not talk anything about that. Up to now, people they suffer. It's like right now they tell people they register every time, any month the people they register. Thousands of people they outside there they suffer day and night they sleep now do. Nobody know the way they talk for them. At the beg una Mr. Kutubu, please una pay attention to this problem. This is the problem in the country. Now for that make a call.
Mr. Mohammed, if you go give me your number, you go send I don't know if you able get Mr. Kutubu a number. Kutubu, I don't know if you want to get your number and make it send evidence to you and whatever because we have to help our people when they come.
Yeah, I get all evidence to the even the man because of course they don't appear in court. I get evidence they get documented to the effect where they don't do everything. All the documented to the effect. They are the same people and they suffer for this government. The same people there. Now make I say if other people win this particular election where they come to go that means I rig the rig down. They rig them because they don't do anything so far to the people. They waiting they do for the people. Now so far people they suffer in another country. They suffer and they don't know what they enjoy. They waste the money in the country. They waste the economy. They're not able to do anything for to improve the people their life. Me not made what they talk to me. They win again. Me not made what they talk. But I regret them today. I regret. I will ever regret that. Now me your life for vote for that kind of government. To be honest. Because we do young people that when they cry for you, people that when they suffer for you, then when they treat them because of we will not for one yourself selfish reasons. We not able they say we not cry for you, never cry for them. And they repeat I'm not to APC, but APC can never do this to young people there. What the other people they do to young people there? And they kill them slowly and they suffer them. APC no will ever do that again here. So they don't regret that.
Mr. Mohammed, Kutubu, I don't know if you want take on this issue with him.
Yeah.
Because before we broadcast something, we can get evidence. So I don't know if you go able for send you information or Kutubu give you information. Mr. Mohammed, take a pen and write
Professor. Well, get the number. Get the number. Yeah, the number, you know, yeah.
Okay, what's up the number? Now this VOS number now
I get
WhatsApp
una
you
WhatsApp
go,
number.
right? Okay, WhatsApp
Yes,
you
I
your
get una WhatsApp
number.
number. I get una information. I go send all the documents to una.
Okay, send on a
Good.
WhatsApp and then Kutubu will look into for you. We go waiting and call because I mean, people they need help and if a voice we able for help, put a voice for lay the yeri and solve the problem. We don't do one thing where God say we all for look out for one
Because now
another.
one of the
Thank you,
head,
Mr.
una the head
Mohammed.
very great. Anything una talk about the government they listen una. Anything una they
Thank
talk now una don't make even the government they work. Because what una they talk
thank
they afraid that they do am. Because if una know they talk
thank
like that country don't they zero. To be honest.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mohammed. God bless you too, sir.
Thank you
Just
so
be
much.
patient a little bit. It will get better. We get hope. That's why we all sit here. Hope is coming and help is coming.
Una
And
thank you,
Kutubu
God
will
go bless
help you
una,
guys.
God go bless una pikina. Una
Thank
thank
you,
you
sir. Thank
for
you.
save that
Okay,
country.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Announce the number. Some people, I think, when they see the number up there, the VOS number. If anybody gets any, come out for call. This is not the number. Then for call it, they up on the screen. For the one that we know they see, the one that we know they hear. The toll free number now 1-800 excuse me 1-866-944-7722. 1-866-944-7722. If you're in the United Kingdom, the number is +44 203 239 9581. And again, in the United Kingdom, the number is 203 239 9581. Mr. Shilon, go with the Australia and the WhatsApp.
Okay, Australia is 61280-064-352. 61280-064-352. And of course, WhatsApp, 343-997-5828. 343-997-5828.
This not for them people that way, not a year fine or way, not able for see vision and so we get everybody among we and we know say one of them we don't call we and don't complain about that. So it say it take a long time before you're able to forget we number. That's why we're doing this. So we go to the next caller. Caller, good evening. What's in your name? Also you call from, please. Hello, caller, good evening. What's in your name and also you they call we from, please. Hello, caller.
Hi, this is not anonymous. Good evening.
Hello, Anonymous. How are you, my beautiful darling? Go ahead, please. What you get
I'm
for me
good,
today?
thank you. You look beautiful. Thank you all for what you're doing. My own contribution regarding the lady, the child shoulder way, that lady way they talk for the instigation message and stuff like that. I want to follow we pay attention to every bit of thing they say because they give we an indirect message. To me, I look at her for say she's afraid for her life and she doesn't want to go through what she's already been through, and the tears speak volume. They indirectly tell me, or we all say, if anything happened, now somebody try for overthrow the government, try a coup d'etat, SALONE they go for war because the president no go take them. They tell we for say the president done ready. And if you look weeks back, the man go by tanker them, bring them come to the country. We get people them army man them waiting up. They say no bush shaking. Anybody we try, we they get them out of the way. So she knows what she's talking about. She understands what's going on. It is one way for say if anybody come for can try for do anything, the president will not let it go. It go kill everybody just so it go stay in power, and that speak volume. And right now with the SLPP government, then they go and make up stories. They tell a lot of lies. This bread and butter issue when they talk about, then they say the bread and butter issue, then don't solve them. by the free education. By allowing parents not to pay school fees, that don't solve the bread and butter issue, because if you know they pay that school fee, the money when you they save from not paying school fee, now that money they now you for able for solve your bread and butter issues. Now then they can add a terminal na Lunge Airport. It's just a terminal. They're not they build a brand new airport. Then they add an extension to the airport. Then they make them look like for say. Then they do something. When it be saying a sublet, then they sublet that place there to foreign people them. We go come, then tax the Sierra Leonean, tax everybody when they come into the country. Make profit from it while poor Sierra Leoneans them they suffer. Then school them where the president will commission the 100 schools. Did they start building them from the foundation, or did they go repair them? Now paint then go add now wall and put nail to wood. What did they do really? That then they make this noise about the president commissioning 100 schools. The man is about education, and you know we'll see the benefit of education anytime soon, because you get for Guiam 15 years for let you see the result of this free quality education. Like what's really going on in Sierra Leone right now? What are we going through? So this is all I have to say. I love you all. Mr. Shailan, you look good.
Thank you, Anonymous. Thank you, a wise young woman. You know, I look for a host, but she's still anonymous, so I'm not going able to sit on now with panel because she's anonymous. Put in the veil. We put behind the veil just to
I would be honored to be a part of the show, but sometimes I have my own issues. So
I know. I understand.
And people are able to handle the criticism, and
Yes.
sometimes I get emotional and crazy, you know.
Yeah, I know. This is why I take medication every day, and I'm telling my boss, my co-host, that I get emotional if I begin cry too much. That means everything is getting to me, and that means my depression is coming on. I gotta get out and take a break, you know.
Well,
but yeah, thank you so much, my darling.
It's an honor. It's an honor. I love you, and I adore you. I'll try to reach out to you on a personal base someday. Thank you.
Yes, there, no problem. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, so goodbye. Yeah. So another caller. I'll take another caller because we know this is the voice of Salone, Mr. Shilon. I know say you want to put your sense inside with you know, and Professor maybe get for respond to what you can say. But let me
good evening. This now concert citizen where they call from Holland. You know.
Yes, Mr. Concern from Holland. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Now go straight to the point. Like this thing will happen in Guinea. You know, you see, we African leaders then. Really say they for the learn something now from the past, but we African leaders, they are too selfish, you know, because this thing will happen in Guinea, and ECOWAS, AU, I blame them greatly, because most of them things that really happen at the African countries, they know, then they see all the suppression where the citizens they go through. You understand? If they're not the depressed, where the citizens they depressed, all them frustration, there are people in the hang themselves now because of all the suppression from them politicians they are. You understand? I hope say therefore they tell them then the competency, then thing when they do when I get for stop. Because now they lead all in this thing, you know, and expect I'd like to talk about my country as Sierra Leone. Like Sierra Leone are the telling of the truth. We citizens them, they're really peaceful. Because people they we don't pass through that 11 years war. People don't want to go through that one day again. And people don't invest in that country, they don't want to lose their investment. But they suppress the problem. But the thing where people they go through this suppression, you understand, the harassment where they go through from this government is really, really heartbreaking. Fadima, if you go to SALONE, when you see how people in the day, people they kill themselves slowly, most of them die within the day. People are out of frustration, depression. Now they kill people in that country because of this government. No freedom of speech, no nothing. They never for land something. This will happen again. Never for land. If you matter, you get sense. You understand? Eh? All these threats where they threat is nothing. When people are ready for rebel against government, they don't care what is life. You understand? They can do things. But they get for learn something, say you're not going to suppress. Because you're not going to know where the savior going for come out. Maybe now under info the savior going for come out for save the people then. You know, like what happened at Guinea. I mean, this is a lesson for the sub-region. Say you're not going to suppress your people. You're not going to love your people. You government going to be inclusive. You understand? You know, and waiting be for the citizens and give it to them. Therefore, they learn something. Most of them, then they are in the come oversee and they see how they oversee people and they live their life. They care for the citizens in them. But African leaders, they don't care for no citizen. What they care for themselves and they are for their family. You know, when they like most of them they fall. Then they fall delicately. So look, Alpha Conde at the end, from grace to grass. Always you don't get now, you don't lost everything. And I tell you the next thing they do now, you understand? All the money we keep now the outside world, then they freeze all. Who are the profits? And the Western world. But we Africans doesn't they ever get sense. They always they steal and get stupid mentality. Honestly, look, we own leader, we own presidents. I must say, don't see me if me president chief invest in the country and to God and they support him. Because I'm not saying I'm going to go far. It inside the country, you know, the other people in the benefit from it, but they think everything empty. Look at people they support that country, money not there, and the money in that country now waiting at the country, now they circulate through. You know, I will call back again next one. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Before we take another, I want to respond to Madam Nancy Kabia. You say let we not bring with stress, can allow talk on low states, the facts, and talk. Let me tell you about life. You see me when sit down so a crazy. I am mentally crazy officially. I take medication. I sacrifice as Sidonaya. Every Sunday I give to Sierra Leone. I talk to Sierra Leone. Problem, pass you know to mortal man. Now you know get hurt. You know, it gets to you and it emotionally gets to me. I sit here for free. I don't there 3 years. They called me. I didn't come. Now called and called me. I reluctantly came. For can't do this because I know it is become a burden to me sometimes. Because when you hear story after story after, this is you. Because you care about people, you want good for people, you want things for change, you want the leaders here for listen. I have medications. I take all kind of medications. Okay, I officially get say then diagnose me. It is not. I have unseen trauma from war. I am mental, but I sit here and give. So if I talk on my stress and relieve me thing, or if the caller talk on his stress, please allow us, please allow us a little bit. Let us release. This is how we feel. We human beings don't, because we and table here they do, does not make us not human. We get feelings too. We hurt too. We cry for people too. So allow us, please, a little bit. Be a little bit tolerant. If you don't even get sympathy or whatever, don't let it bother you. Let people talk. Go somewhere else. I appreciate you. But if you don't want to do it, go somewhere else and listen. But sometimes things happen, but it happens. It comes. It just happened. I am a 100% US disabled veteran. Mental. So please, I do this for keep my mind going, not go crazy for myself. But then there's sometimes when SALONE in problem now waits over you aid. Because you hear the stories after stories. You see things that are done. That's why we're here to make that change. But we cannot change the world. But we can change, make a little bit of impact. That's why we're here. Nobody's paying us a penny. This is all voluntary. We're not looking for work. All of us here are well to do. We're doing fine. We're doing fine. So my sister, please, allow us a little bit for let we vent and let we digress and pull some stress power. All right? I love you. Next call. Let me go to the next caller. Good evening, caller. Waiting at your name and where they call we from.
Hello, viewers. This is Omar, the call from Switzerland.
Yes, Mr. Omar. Good evening, my brother. Thank you again. Always one of our faithful listeners, always on VOS. without una viewers and nothing. So go ahead, my brother. What do you have to say? What in are your impact? What you
Okay.
at the impact?
First of all, we didn't encourage anything. Some of we know what thing go on at that country from phase 1, phase 2, now all the attacks. In fact, all the attacks within Sierra Leone, I almost welcome 99% of them. You know, from Kabbalah, Kono, Camp Frito, January 6. So we know what in a war. We know what in a Sojama way, Sojama take power. We know what in a junta. Some of we just like putting that woman at the top. The war snatched with childhood from we. Okay. But we get two problems in that country. One day when we don't experience and they forget, just like putting the woman talk. You know, and then to be all in as much as the woman they make sense, but in tears na crocodile tears. Because why I say so? The one day way be the guide harness, then let the boot where they misbehave.
That's right.
Now all soldiers that will fight the war. They be they part of the junta, some of them part of the rebels. The Marabio insecurity where they dance the last time, where they dance say they don't prepare. Most of them were juntas. Most of them they don't fight the war, and you know go get anyone. So if you get that kind of people and they where somebody join the war just after where everything done where Israel get peace, somebody join the war. Sorry for the language. Somebody join the army like a lie. The instigating kind of people never go out, they give false information. You know, then you say now people instigate. No, now they phony themselves. The military now they don't phony themselves. Now they don't put politics into their job. When institutions stay independent of that country, we never get where yes, they go come in, but it will be another angle, not a political angle like what happened at Sierra Leone. You know, so some of you we know what we don't go through, what that woman they talk all not true, but indeed, now then they don't turn themselves funny. Now then they make sources civilian, they use them. You know, because why Sojama, what is Sojama get for go dance na State House? What is Sojama Yonde? This it don't happen not to matter in time no more, it even happen honest in time. I witness that. Sojama they on top Land Cruiser, they dance at Sheikh Stephen Street. Why therefore you allow them to use them? You know, so that's that crocodile tears. At least let a colleague that listen to not to we they send them is that to them. So let them listen now. Let them know say they don't shed blood. They don't go through bitter time in that country, and they not for allow let people use them. So that now they your news. Let them shame to themselves among the army. Then one thing again, what we found out now the last time we Sierra Leone pay contribution, they say them pay them contribution to ECOWAS. Some of you we don't know why make them pay that contributions. Because ECOWAS they do nothing in that region. All the OT leaders they do, they just attach luxury to them positions so they get, then forget about the people, you know. So for me, ECOWAS na zero. You know, I really admire the word way the blame where that man blame them. You know, to me, ECOWAS didn't exist. Now name no more. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So let me hold off the call a second. On our all on the callers then please. And let me give Mr. Shilon and Professor Kutubu for address waiting so far the doyeri. So Mr. Shilon sir, like I would say waiting at the potential or the impact with doyeri people that don't everybody they see, like I say, everybody has a different perception of life. Everybody they say where they see things in life. So sometimes, you know, we come in we own way, in we own style. You self get for tell you way, your style. Then we try for meet in the middle, respecting one another. You know, we ways. So that's peace. We can disagree, but we're still neighbors. We can disagree, but we're still friends, Mr. Shilon. Waiting you get again for this thing. I'm not sure you may say you get something else, but if you want to address it.
Yes, ma'am. There's few things. Sometimes it's good for listening to the callers them because it's good for know how they think, and it's good for help them with the thought process. Because sometimes they get legitimate issues and causes, but sometimes then get conflicting ideas. Make Agi an example of Mr. Sise we call, say he was very young during the time where I think he say MPRC take over, and that and he outright condemned taken over by the army. Well, anybody, if you care for your country, that's the last thing you want to wish. That's the one thing you hope will ever happen. You don't want that to happen because it destabilizes the country. It put the country economically, politically, in all respects backwards. It's like taking 4 steps forward, 10 steps backward. Every time you get a coup, you are basically starting from zero or -0. So it's not a good thing. But here is where Mr. Sise go wrong. And I just wish he can think about that. You don't blame the outcome of bad policy. You blame the practitioners of bad policies. You will not get a coup if you are a believer in the rule of law. I'm a lawyer, so I fundamentally believe in that. And in fact, to run any civilized society, it cannot happen without the rule of law. So we leaders then for understand that basic rule there. You cannot skirt the law. You can't thwart them. You can't get what you call a constitution. Then when you don't have power, you think you are above it. When you don't have power, you do everything possible for make sure say it doesn't work. You do everything. I give you a good example. Although I may not agree with the policies, but let me just give you an example sometimes to make the point. And this not get nothing to do with politics of itself. It just has to do with bad people and what would they give with power to for run government. I mean, these are bad guys. The vast majority of these guys, APC, SAPP, they're not the good people. They're not the better people. You know, when I realize that, I keep emphasizing that point there. Because the Creole man say, if married go sweet, now the bachelor's if you go, no. Watch them people here, watching the command of the mouth. Watch them behavior. Watch them, not to now whether they run for politics now for judge them. These are people that would have lived for years. Try to know something about their background. Some of them will not go know how terrible they were because they were poor, they were not well known. But man, character, it in we. Throughout to upbringing. But sometimes when we poor, people are not going to say in we, because if you're proud, you're a poor man, who cares? But that poor man, when they get power, the power they amplify, they make that in arrogance or in cockiness show up, because now you get reason for be cocky. Then people are going to say, oh, not a soy bitan. No, not soy bitan. We'll just not be noticing a soy bitan because it be too poor for low pay attention to them, but I be proud man. If you're not a good person, you go be good. No amount of power will make you bad. If you're not arrogant person, you go be arrogant. The only difference is people are not going to feel you arrogant, you proud, or can call you proud. In English, you could say pride. It don't mean anything. So we need for begin for land other than with the give power. Now, the young lady, so with Mr. Sise, we call and condemn coup outright. He may be right. It's a bad thing. I don't think we should have it at all. But the responsibility lies with the one then who was civilians, who decided to usurp power and mix up everything. It's just like anybody who play any sports. You go into a game, let's say soccer, we'll get a referee. We all agree for saying to call the shots. We don't agree on the rules. But if every time the referee calls something on one beat on one fit, at some point, the other team will say, well, you know what? Forget the referee. Let's play rough. So if we leaders them care, and this is how one way you will determine who that love the country. If you love the country, you know they go upset or misuse or misapply what we call constitution. When are the main law that one day where they govern. And let me remind people, constitution for a country, now limitations on the power and the exercise of power of government. Constitution not necessarily, and how government not for infringe or take advantage of we the people. That's what the constitution is of a country. Constitution not to how we for behave, we the ordinary people. And a parliament get out and make them call statutory law. And if city ordinances, you get down there. But so they don't mix up everything. Constitution now mainly restrain on the government, I don't know, for misuse them power on the people. That's what the Constitution is on a national basis. So what do? These guys, no, they hesitate. When time comes for find ways and means for want for, I have no sympathy, I have no love, I have no respect for anyone who has no respect for the Constitution. It doesn't matter how they kick you out of power, you deserve it. So for Mr. Sise, where they say this and that, then are the result of the who for deal with the cause. The cause now the civilians then we no one for obey, we want for abuse power, we want for use all kind of means for stay in power. If we all respect our constitution, they will all go be happy. Everybody will get in chance. And even the opposition are masterful in Africa for misuse the constitution themselves, even before they kind of power. Now that constitution they go take and beat the government within a power. Talk about then when they kind of power now, then change things. Now so a lot of what Alpha Conde. I'm sorry, I keep saying Brahma Conde. Alpha Conde. That's exactly what he did. He was in the opposition, made a lot of noise. He got an opportunity, became president. 2 terms. Well, that was not enough. Then now he decides, say, to hell with the constitution. I go grab onto the power and run the country. So when a leader do that, why will anybody even think, say such a person not deserve being kicked out by any means possible? What does it matter how he was kicked out? I mean, which one do you prefer? You prefer we'll get civilian government where they do harm to the people? So bad na bad, it no matter who that they do. So when you get lawless civilians, them, you know, I mean, so what the people have some point have to be relieved of this kind of pressure or oppression. What some of them guys say, they just not get vision for the country. The other thing is they not get sympathy for the people within the rule. Now, very quickly, Ms. Fadima, then the other gentleman, we call about the Bo incident. I agree with most of what you say. Me not get no idea about the Bitcoin, but we will find out what that is all about. But here's the mistake, and I just want to correct in way of thinking. He say APC will have never done that to their own people. None of their own people. This is the mistake we keep making, because this gentleman, Mohammed, he thinks because in Komobo, and bear in mind, myself now I go bo 9 years at this school now, so I know bo inside out. Okay, but what you don't realize, what you say, in a Mindeman, and Bio, they do that to him people them. So because Bio na Minde, you na Minde, that make you in people them. Am I not? Me na Creole. I think say me na Bio in people. Me on people and I Bio in people. If you're not Timini, let's remember one thing. This man is president of Sierra Leone, not of Mindes, not of Bo, not of the south or eastern region. And if your goal is to be president of a tribe, go run for chieftaincy. Go run for chieftaincy. Go not the chieftain where you come out. But you cannot have the audacity for one to rule 17 tribes. And then you want to rule the rest of the country as if now one tribe exists. That is just, well, first of all, it just shows me you're not getting any brains. Because if you get brains, you're not going to even think in those times. It just shows you say you are totally lacking in leadership capability and quality. Okay? And there are so many myths in all these things. So some of you for point them out. What makes a Minde man think say he is more secure if he surrounds himself by a Minde? That logically, if you stretch that to the logical conclusion, then all Minde man for like you not forget any Minde enemy because you know Minde in a Minde. The same goes for Timini. I'm just using Minde as an example. So when this Mohammed say Aneskoroma not be do that for him people. Well, would I understand young people? Northerners? What about Westerners? What about Soso, Limba, Madingo, Kuranko, Kono? So we get for change our way of thinking. Vote for somebody, not because we come at the same tribe. Vote for somebody who see you, the Limbao, the Creole, the Kuranko, the Madingo, who see you as one of young people. But maybe they go to school, and they can make one thing clear. Sierra Leone don't get tribalism. We don't get tribal problem at all. I can challenge anybody on that. We do not have tribal problems. Any issue about tribalism is an artificial issue. Nobody can raise the hand up and tell you, say, and I challenge anyone, we'll get a different experience. If you grow up in Bo, if you grow up in Kailao, if you grow up in Pendembu, if you grow up in Pujeo, we'll go tell me, say, because in a northerner, where be the walking at Pujeo. People do not like them, they're going at Timini, they're going at Limba, they're going at Suso. That doesn't happen. No Minde man go tell you, say, when you go walk na Putloko, when you go walk na Kamakwe, they hate him or they not like him because in a Minde man. Or if you want Yan a Minde woman, it go say, I don't want you because you're not local. I don't want you because you're not Minde. It just doesn't happen. We are very loving, receptive people to we serve. No matter who side you go in the country. Now then, misguided, actually cruel politicians there, where they clothe themselves with degrees. Now then they try to inject that in our mentality. But we don't have it. We are blessed. There are a lot of blessings we get. Religious harmony, good one. We don't get tribalism. Let's don't make it an issue. Let's fight those who are trying to make it an issue for their own personal benefit. So I look at this whole thing as an educational process. So Mr. Mohammed, so when you say in young people, because you're not Minde, so because you're upset with Bio just because you're not Minde, in order to do the right thing. But this also teaches you a lesson. People like Bio, they never use the tribe thing. But they not believe in that. They not believe in that. So all I need for teach you a lesson. Let we look at ourselves as Sierra Leoneans first, as human beings, and people that will love the country. If we love the country, we live peacefully. Me grow up, I born a Freetown. I grew up in a Pendembu, Upper Bambara Chiefdom, Kailan District. I go school in Bo, and never experienced discrimination of any type based on tribalism. It just isn't there. Thank you.
To you, Professor. A caller asked a question. Samura Kamara, Professor, I will get to you where they respond if you able to pick that up. And the caller, the person on Facebook writes, say, well, ECOWAS, then they say ECOWAS not doing job, but ECOWAS go into, and I think the person was Samura Kamara. They say leader for life or something. He wrote, leader for life. I don't know some, but leader for life. The ECOWAS tell them we pull some sumana, but not listen to ECOWAS. So ECOWAS they kind of like I think they try for implies where ECOWAS they do, but the leader themselves not they listen. And so I don't know if you have got much padande, but to your response to anything where you want answer.
Yeah, thank you very much, man. First, me brother within New Jersey, where they call. Also, say one time praised Professor David Francis, but I don't condemn him. And luckily, you be not answer that scenario that Kutubu, embrace one policy. I don't get a permanent friend, I don't get a permanent foe, but I get a permanent interest. We invested in principles. That they be the so now make the UK already introduced me controversial. These are the very controversial that you talk about. Today I praise you to condemn you. Okay. But now going back to this issue of ECOWAS, again, now people then, they see the moral confusion panel, they see the inconsistency panel, they see the lack of focus and direction. Like I say again, in 2007, they come up with a communique, with a policy, a united policy. They condemn coups, which is good. But equally so, they put what we call a guardrail. They put a rock of the water. Where go make if I will not go think of a cousin Then one, say, not do anything for expand your constitution. Don't do it. Term limit, that term limit. They made it patently clear. No, do it. When you do that, like we already the problem about that place here, they already talk about the symptoms, and we got to move away from talking about, we got to talk about the causative agency. Waiting responsible for that here. Why you get Africa is so much at the color with coups and the rebel war, this and that, waiting at the reasons. These are the things that where foreign policy experts for put together. Why is it? Why is that? Even like in the case of Mr. Conde, the ECOWAS, the referendum what he hold, John Equity actually for Miduna Ghana for like what you call Unigov, the thing was na fraud. They said they know the fraud. The election now waiting for coming again na fraud. Yes, we know they support military group because the military, like me and you know, they own job, they own constitutional responsibility. Now for defending the territorial integrity of the sovereign nation from expansionist tendencies from land grabbers when they can't begin the government when they grab with land younger. These are the things where the army for this for. And also I want to assure everybody, didn't happen at Guinea. Now it's not going to happen at SALONE. Here's why it not going to happen at SALONE. The reason Mr. Biode on his first term, he coming want to power back on no second term, then the citizens get for determining that, not to him. Now they will get for determining that if you come or not. Now here's Usai, we will begin to come to if the citizens say no, we don't want you, because people then they go to the police station, then they reaffirm the faith in the validity of the sanctity of the ballot box. This now essentially underline democracy, the government for the people, by the people, and existing with the legitimate consent of the people. These are the elements in the way we underline democracy. When I start earlier, I talk about two types of rapes, and you get one way the force to serve per woman against the will. Then you get one way a leader in a group against the whole country, where the whole country is forced in step on them. And then I rape that also, you raping the whole country. So why some of us say don't go up to SALONE? Maybe you say Mr. Biogo respect the democratic verdict of the people then. If he do well, in only for the people that will vote me back. Now I can only tell people second term, we need to forget this. Let everybody know say not to a law, not to a now a gift where the citizens then they give you as a result of what you do the first step. Okay, this man not do well the first step. Let we bring a day again. Let continue program. It's not automatic, not to a divine right, neither not to circumstantial freedom. Now a gift when they give you for come the second term. When the one who get for solve them problem here, so what Africa need for do, now go back to the parliamentary democracy. We'll go back to the parliamentary democracy. They're not going to worry about it. I can give you an example. This lady when they go out of office now, so when in Germany, Angela Merkel. Now Democrat, now parliamentary democracy that get now make it in power so long so because as long as in party they do well, then he as a leader do well, you people they go vote for you. Then we contrast that to what happened to Margaret Thatcher. In your people that they pull up Nigel Lawson when are the finance minister, nice spearhead in common. Tony Blair in deputy when they have been finance minister also, Gordon Brown, corner. So now go back. If one get there, now go back to the parliamentary democracy. So what would we get before get this kind of government which Shakasiri scale go 1991 Republican government will not get the how they call it for. Now go back to parliamentary democracy where the majority where you are as long as you do well in party, you become the leader in party, you go already take until you die. So now your contribution on that to the discussion.
Thank you so much. Mr. Shilon make a statement about a miss in the beginning where when they talk. He said don't blame the result or something. Look, I forget, but I love that phrase. Maybe you will remember me later. But let me go to the caller them a little bit. Yeah, let me go to the caller them. I want to answer somebody will make a statement, but let me go to the caller them first because the callers their statement they say very important on Facebook. We appreciate our Facebook viewers, our YouTube viewers, any side way they view from whatever view we from. We tell una thank you because we have to talk about these things. And because of these things, where we been get one and we country, then go sit on a table. And now that's make them get OAU, when now na AU, now that's make them get ECOWAS, now that make them get United Nations, now that make them get all the organization. For make the small one, the big one no go take advantage of the small one. They watch over for be like a big brother to the people then at the union. So you know, they have neglected some of their duties. They allow stuff to happen, and then in the end, because Mr. Shilo make the result, not the result. We blaming the result, but we not look at waiting cause the result of how it come to that part say reach that side. So now we go to callers then. Waiting at your name, please, and also they call we from.
All right. Hello, viewers. My name is Ibrahim Kuroma. I call from the US.
Yes, Mr. Ibrahim.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Unfortunately,
you,
I get so many issues. Although I come late, but I will go straight to the one way catch me attention.
Okay.
Mr. Shilon. I think Mr. Shilon do a wonderful job by trying to put together what we call an informed kind of lecture on what citizens them to expect from government. If I go just add a few things and disagree with them with respect to certain things. One thing I want to add now that the government or leadership not to inheritance. Leadership na where we take and hold something for the future. And I think the president of Malawi summarized them brilliantly. Say, when we get power, the power not to inherit, we inherit from people that we forefathers. But now a duty where we owe to the next generation. But going back and disagreeing with Mr. Shilon, say tribalism not in our country, I want to say that at the time, I believe say Mr. Shilon not lived in Sierra Leone for the last 10 years. And if so, me live in Sierra Leone for the rest for all my life, and I think say I don't pass 30 years. That means I get sufficient knowledge for telling you say there is tribalism as we talk, and I think say I get evidence to that. What's not me evidence? One, a lot of people when as Sierra Leoneans don't raise this issue, the tribalism, it don't graduate from Musa we know as mere rhetoric so people in the talk about. So actually substantiated positions of society. And what do I mean by that? Now that it's an acknowledged fact beginning from the presidency. The president of Sierra Leone sat in the television program and acknowledged that there is tribalism in Sierra Leone. So there is no way Mr. Shilong was done a TV program and say there is no tribalism. You don't believe in that. It's not rhetoric anymore. And this is because what we have now is different from what you knew in Sierra Leone. I agree if you go draw a comparison to a time where you live there to what we have now. But when the president of a country sits in the television program and says there's tribalism, and he takes no responsibility for that, and he takes no efforts to pipe down on the rhetoric where it graduates to a level where he acknowledged to be a tribalistic country, that makes the situation even serious. He had a platform to talk to the people of Sierra Leone for get away with the nonsense of tribalism. Rather, he said, we have been tribalistic and divided all the time. And he made reference to colonial period. He made reference to the politics. He made reference to other things, including the behavior of different tribes. And that's not good. That's not good. But unfortunately, that's where we live. Me not blame the president for making those analogies and accepting the situation because it is the fact. But let's go back to one thing. Why do we say our country is tribalistic? People don't give testimonies about tribalism in different places, that they are being attacked just because they are from different regions and tribes living in, unfortunately, a different region and tribe.
Okay.
An imam recently.
Okay, sorry, not 3 minutes you get. So the 3 minutes don't up, we don't give you a few more seconds after that. So the phone get for go up. But that points there where this caller make, we get for come back to them. Please write it down because we need to come back to it. We need to come back to that tribalism and to Mr. Mohammed in comments because I want to make comments on that. Next caller, please, because this is a topic we'll get for go inside, we'll get for dissect, we'll get for find the problem. There is a problem, and if we don't come to the root of the problem, we're not going to solve the problem. Good evening, caller. Name, please, and outside they call with from. Yes,
I'm
caller.
calling from Philadelphia.
Go ahead,
Hello?
please. Yes.
I'm calling from Philadelphia. This is about Sierra Leone.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Huh?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
This is not the voice of Sierra
Okay,
Leone.
these
Go
are
ahead, sir.
Mohammed Masarin
Yes,
of
Mr.
River
Mohammed.
Pennsylvania.
Go ahead.
When I put it, the fellow Sierra Leone, that diaspora. That's the opportunity to talk to them. If we believe the Salone government, 8% everything will be Salone, like a dream. We learned in 1981 over for college. Now, further that's one day. Maybe because someone was say, Sato Tambura and me, Utuna Gorilla. Go to for college. Now, see the last one day. That's about 1 day a day. That means about the president. I said, how we president is for before. One of the final be 2 billion for college. 2 whole 10 billion for college. Now, my regards, that's what I say. You mean, because I don't tell with them. The other don't tell with them. All my put $100, no blocks for Salone. No blocks for Salone. It's like disgrace to we. Now, got out of Africa for a big college. Then I gather the story. Then you read the story. I teach you the name. And the program every day with the book. Now look at Ghana. How many people go to Ghana? How many go to Ghana? We are laughing for we. We have been spending big money. This was not for book college. We have fairly immediate. Let us put money together. Lord be for Salone. For class of Suto. First class of for Salone. 8% have been in the country. They are for 70 years. 70 good years. We don't get 24 hours water supply. We don't get 24 hours electricity. We don't get 24 hours of good hospital. We don't get 24 hours work. Anybody want to do tribalism or party policy out without the money cost. That's why we have about 5 million outside. We try for local be 2% under the James government. We build 2% for local because we see we suffer from first year to final year. We suffer beg. The Salone man not want to work to you. Even if you need to go for government. Once you go bring money to Jamie them, they say they sell the government. 7 minutes I resign. Now when we were in 1984, they resign. One passport to no complaints, but we try to be two hotels. And at the court of the just stay with people of blessed memory. He said, if you all strong government are looking at government, if you all strong government are looking at government, we're going to be paradise. As a stone. Thank God I don't mean bad friend, Clan Bailey. Mr. Clan Smith, no city. I don't talk to us with the bill of Sassaro, who beat us for college, no bill up. This was a corner is talk. 8% is not necessary. That's why not necessary. We will learn that for college. So I'm going to go, they don't care about the Kubu. I told them, I talked to them. Over the way to go, I said, I'm going to call you. I call you, I call UN, I call OU. I tell them, I'm not going to say them, Lord, speak to police there. I'm in money to go overthrow you. And then they say, I don't do them good. So that's why I don't talk. When I bring up blood for Salone, if we want to United anymore, we have about 1 to 1.5 million. We put 200 there, we build for Salone. I know, Salone will not work. Because for your college, they resign. They want to destroy the project. We not agree. We're not going to for college. We start with 2 more steps. If we can be 200 for college, if we can be 200 for student leader, then that's where I give 200 each.
That's true.
If we be 200 for college, that's where I give 200 for Salone. Long man put 200 for people in Salone. How many of them go to Ghana? How many of them go to Ghana? How many of them go to Ghana for treatment? How many of them? don't think like me. Vice President, sorry, President on that, yeah, James. I think about it now. Yeah, for what to do? The final one was this, for what to look at Swati. Kufaman. Order Lazibo Ali Kamara, Deborah Kabulam Part, First President, first Vice President, Pulkas of Vocal.
Wow. This is a caller. He touched on some points them where he said if every diaspora put $200, we can build a massive hospital for our people. What are we waiting on, Sierra Leoneans? You know, it touched me hard so what's in a call because then just they come, then do cosmetic, then show half-15 them, the other half-15 them. But we need medical hospital in Sierra Leone. If every diaspora put 200, Ghanaians do it, Liberians do it, Nigerians do it. Why can't we, Sierra Leone? Then they talk on the tribalism. Tribalism is real because that's the mind. The blockage is in our heads, it's in our minds. This is how we think. The politics has made that for be so waiting and called. This man talks so true. We can do them. We not get for pull $200 because some people not get $200 right away. But we can make pledge and we can do them. We can do them, Sierra Leoneans. But you cannot person they beginner, not for me beginner, not for support. This not the shift, this not the term. And if we want to be part of that movement, if we get to political parties, if we get to baby showers, if we get to bridal showers, if we we can get to the healthcare system of we country. We can do them. We can do them. We can lead that thing that we can do them, Sierra Leoneans. We have the mind. We just need the will. We can do them. If every Sierra Leonean, we can do them. You not get for pay and one ten. If you say, I take 6 months, I pledge $200, we can do them. We can make ourselves say, you get shares, we can sell shares, we can do them. This man open up inspiration right here. Let me go to the other caller. We can do it. Thank you very much, caller. What's your name and who say they call we from? We can do it.
Good morning from inside where they call. Are they call from?
Yes. Yes, go ahead.
Mama, let God help in other country. There.
Yes, sir. Amen.
The thing that we don't put in our country, they now the big one, and the one that we call say they educate, and they don't put in our country. This now typical example to Alpha Conde with all in professor degree we get. Look how it go for go quell the constitution, yeah? Now all intend they lead into this thing so to the way in don't go through. African education of it way. They just like say with man then use them for bait we, for use we. Because for God's sake, all we educated leaders and all don't fail Africa. This one not to just SALONE. The one they were they above 50 and upwards. Now they all don't fail Africa, obviously. Look Alpha Conde age with all the education we get. There is nothing good home to write about. Make account to SALONE because Africa, in fact, SALONE was. We don't know exactly who side we they try for. Because look that man, I know this in part, but how dare you for go say because you come on and go, because mother they do this. Then they every day then they preach against tribalism. You know, they make like now then they push people in for talk. Mother and in team don't make clearly say would I know they get any bad thought from and they don't get announced. Man, they waiting with people if they talk for them so that the APCs they don't come, SFP they don't come, they don't go. Nothing like this, no increase to this way where they don't do it. Because I not go say tribalism not be there, but it was not open up as it is today. Yeah, and the other thing why the church will they blame leaders and the president and why would they cast blame on them? Because they know they take action. They're all intentional for country. But the one that we call themselves the ministers, the parliamentarians, especially the permanent secretaries, they are the kaka one. If they not put that parliament in Africa, let them decentralize for putting Africa. We can never be. We will talk in social. In fact, Italy can praise with the president because there are people there. They are doomed to this color. They don't want to read nothing because they come out from south or because they come out from the north. They don't want to know nothing. Even if forget about this hunger where they go on. I'll bet you, come election, una go riba. We pray to God, may this government come on a power. But not every way this thing they go on at the country. People are doomed. I know they blame the people then, but now so they don't set the stage for let the country develop. And I'm glad about this last caller. It's a very brilliant contribution, but government will give on a chance because they always they think so one can go to them. Mark my words. Thank you. I go try.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. But thank you so much. And I see one with sister right say they go eat all the money, the project, the Sierra Leone. I know the money will go to the project. This is private. This is not government. Yes, governments they do this, but what we don't know say na so then tan. You know go give Arata for go watch granite farm where say or school or whatever they eat granite where they eat the granite. The citizens of Sierra Leone. This is not private. This is not citizens of Sierra Leone. If citizens of Sierra Leone can contribute the money, we can make them because the idea just pop on from my head where this man they talk. Everybody will put money get shares. It is like when you're investing in Wall Street, when you're investing in shares, and when the hospital they make profit, we go make it to a reasonable money where Sierra Leoneans go able for afford the one that way they on the ground. They go able for afford them. Then you self go to get small, you get small of the shares. You get shares. Because I remember my grandfather's shares from the company where they work long time ago. Me mama they collector. Me mama from the company the way they work. Me mama still they connect and mama they get 2 shares every year from companies from the profit because they puts their money inside it. We can still do them. When they get dividend, we can still do them. We can do it. It's possible. We get financial people there among we get people that will get money among we get rich people them. If you say every Sierra Leone, whatever you contribute, you buy piece of the share, whatever the share is, because we can do it, we can do it. Let's not look for government no more. Let we begin for we say we can do this. We can build a massive hospital, millions of dollars, 3, 4, 5 million. We can build a building. We go find the diagnostic machine that we can put her inside the Sierra Leone and go come together. Everybody get part of the shares. You not join, you not buy like how they buy. They have Bitcoin on stock, every kind of thing. Them mutual funds. We can do this. This is a good idea, and I'm gonna bring people in. We can do this. We can do this. Let me go to the other caller, please. We can do this, Professor. I know say don't take small where you talk, but let me take 2 callers. Then I will bring you in, sir. May you wait a call, but we can do this. Do this. Let me go to another caller, please. Caller, good evening. What's your name and also you they call from?
Yeah. This is Abdul. I call from Australia.
Yes, Mr. Abdul from Australia. Good evening, sir. Go ahead, please. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Ms. Farida. And these are the kind of information why that has come. How to develop the country, not always to talk of the problems. Because we don't talk about the problems many times, no solutions.
Yeah.
The solutions, we also have way for solve the problem. We will do the diaspora. I think last week, I started from mentioning something there. And I'm really happy with this man coming with the idea. You see, many people in Guinea don't graduate or don't work in different sectors in their own lives. Like, let me say, Mr. Kutubu, in a lawyer, Mr. Kutubu, at the same time, as a lawyer, they all sometimes they don't retire or they still be practice. If they want to change the judiciary in that country, what is the problem? Then people are need to come together. The diaspora lawyers, they don't retire, what they practice everything. They need to come up with an intelligent way to intervene and change the judiciary. The same thing to the health sector. Like what this man can return so. We get more system. We get doctors who don't live like the diaspora, they work. So they don't retire. If they want to change that health sector in another country, trust me, they go able to do them because they know the best way for their good thing. They're able to go and change them. But it all therefore happens if they all come together. That's how this man is answered. If we come together in different sectors, we're able to change that country. Any area where they affect, we're able to change that. Most of the institutions, they're not able to do them because we born.
Yeah.
We hold on to the diaspora. We don't see how things they develop now. Trust me, my sister, if we come together in different ways, you were at the educational side, then lecturers, then teachers, them people who don't advance at that area. They say, hey, guys, there is something we need to think that country. They come together, they're able to change them. Look how we use them to go. We also get people that who don't stay in that area. They're able to change them. People that invest in different ways. Any country will get Boku problems, there is a business there. I tell you, you talk about how to invest on that side. If now you pay contributions, you able to act as a shareholder, all them things maybe. Now that side of the council.
Thank you.
Any
so
area
much.
in the world, or anything will get problem. If you are smart enough for come with the solution, you don't make a business.
Mm-hmm.
All what you need now the solution for that problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, like they can with us. So, if we all come together, we say what would develop the health sector. But machine for diagnose disease in that country, 9 people will die fast. So, you're able to provide them. So, if we come together, we're able to do one. Why we not for come together? We make contributions, then we do it. It's really important. I really support the idea. Yeah, thank you so much. So,
Thank you very much,
thank you
my
so much
brother.
for giving me the time.
Thank you very much. I mean, I hope we all motivated like this because that call talk, Mr. Usai say they called from that the one previous to with this one from Australia, where it talk on that we can do this, and I see it. I see the vision already. We can get shares. We can buy medical. Put you $10,000 now shares. It is an investment. We get for grow and yield something. We can do this. We can do this. Sierra Leoneans, we can do this. But now go to another caller. I'm getting excited. Then after that caller, they will take Professor Kutubu. Professor, I'm telling you, we can do it. I see it already. No, wait for the government. Our people are dying. I just buried a young man where to all those I forget. To the one that we been give to that GoFundMe a couple of weeks ago, I put out where this young man here so diagnosed of cancer. It don't done for Bay College. It don't done for Bay College. 10 way for beginning life, cancer can before they graduate, cancer can meet. Nothing other than a salon for saving like them. They get that money for her. But unfortunately, 1 week, 2 weeks later, it passed. People are not die of cancer other side. But if they be detected quick, early detection can save a life. If you begin sick, you feel, you get hospital where you go able to go, where they go able to say, now this they do you, now this they do you, now this they. We don't have that. We don't have that until it's too late. People are dying, young people are dying, and the cancer rate has gone up in Sierra Leone. Cancer. Now shares, it is not giving you money for free. It is shares. We're buying shares into the building. We're buying shares into the hospital. We're buying shares into the diagnostic center. We're buying shares. Sierra Leoneans, it's not giving you money for free. It's buying shares. We can do this. That will motivate you. Say your money not they go for nothing. You begin yield. Whatever it is, that's how rich white people get because they into businesses, into things that they see, they invest their money. Then they invest the money. That's how they pass wealth. That's how they build wealth. Me, I don't learn that sense now. I don't say I get Boku wealth, but I don't begin for land. We can do it. We can do it. Mr. Professor, I bring you inside. We can do this.
Anything we don't talk now, yeah, we consolidate and into context and perspective, okay. But the problem that the mindset now, like give examples, where I see this rock of Gibraltar, I will not call names, but they say it's no master cabas, not no missus. Especially in this diaspora with it. A major school in a salon, then you get forget a major anniversary. The student they went there, they get a boku money. One man become a book level momo service. Way before take the money can go. We go na that he do. He become an Orlando Pierce. He will land the money. Another one. We get another incident. A doctor we work na this country. He work na CDC. And everybody know you work na that kind of place. And the CDC, NIH, we know the prestige of the place. You know for work they know. So we expect say where you go back home, that credentials and where they take that place. That they no where they no go by you. Say that they work, you take out for go the candlelight. Where you go. Unfortunately, the man I hear not about that. You know, the diagnosis center in order to they go by what they go by rotting machine for do dialysis. Let's say the first way they could 10 people they die. Yes, they know if you had a and this person in America come out, you open a major place and all that thing. You see, it is the mindset that you don't have we we all. You can go even the organization the academic organizations as well as the regional, the tribal organization. This still you know they so we more down go pay money. The financial sector for like I know in the chat. Wait for can give you the bank statement, will give you report. If where we then are so we so fundamentally dishonest and morally depraved in a place like this world supposed to the fundamental question we get, how much more than a place where you get where house of functional illiterates is sea of ignoramus system, where fundamentally lacking a capacity for understand what Kutubu they do now inside the Ibale. That it's not the scary thing that when I get another one I get Kutubu pay I this money go start that project day. Now the thing what they do now they become an book level momo service. I begin a for sell reports to I know sell report all thing I do. You see the thing the deliberate I don't know how for put away me God and you understand that deliberate way more they do things for among the country. Now in the cancer worm, I don't have all the idea whether man bring no get medical institution, no get a good thing in it. But God is who will bail the cat. Who don't know that this person way we go say okay, you go behave, man. Where you know good heck now win. Because anybody put another day you go do now. So now the one that is so some of we get because it don't happen at the clubs, say what they did. Some clubs they don't even end up in court.
We can do, yeah, we know that come by and gone by many stories them where like you said the Rock of Gibraltar where they before we order the broken we can broken too because I said the blockage now we mind it day but we can clear our mind we can do this no matter the bad experiences of life we still can fall and stand again and I'm motivated. We have lawyers among us. We have people that we sabi financial things among us. We get people them when are engineers among we can see them, we can do them. It is legal papers get for day and like especially we in a diaspora legal what in they get consequences them if you not do what you're supposed to do. They are legal things because thief man and they unfortunately thief man and dishonest people and they among we all the time all the Lily school organization, Lily club organization, one people, one get over the other. We still have those, but we get the one the way they thrive, and we can do this. I am here to motivate every Sierra Leonean. The Rock of Gibraltar get for fall. We get for broken. We get for come through, and we get for leave our egos at the door, and we can come together and do this. I see it. It and the last caller from Australia say what's in the word again they don't come on my aid but he talk a thing say we get for implement them or something it talk something I don't lost it right now but we'll take two more callers and we don't done because I'm so excited I'm so jiggery. He say if you find the solution if you find the solution to a problem you can make to the problem. Now they try for fun. And one of the solutions, we can have a diagnostic center. Sierra Leoneans can do it. We're owned by Sierra Leoneans. We get interest. We get, because when you get shares into something, that's what the white man used to do. That's why we own granddaddy them. And we own papa them, and we own people them. Them been buy shares. What in the white man do? If for let you walk good inside, make you part owner. It make you shares work. You they work with all the best because you your business and you they get profit inside it. So you they take and serious. So if we buy shares into them, we all know watchman for we save. Because I not go there usai me money there. Somebody want go make a yanda. No. I not go there usai them put me usai me money there. I not make sure say it inside there because me own money, me own sweat and blood, me labor. So we can do this, Sierra Leoneans. We can do this. We can run with this. We get many smart people among us. We can run with this. 2 more callers for the day because we want to talk on Mother Bill, the administration, the primary and junior primary education, Dr. Monin Asenge, and the European Union, the Kanto agreement, then give money, EU give. Then show 100 building them with them build, and I was impressed. Really, I was impressed because a lot of these villages, especially Agladi, where they're not doing a free tongue, then go on the back sides of where they call. But Sierra Leoneans are doing the same thing. We get Sierra Leone and the way they build school with their personal money, and we know say sometimes the government's not a look. This is what, because when that Mr. Mohammed talk on the one from France where he talk say. We own people, them unfortunately that is how our people see it. They see it as now people them and with a yeri when they say now we don't turn for it, now we don't turn, because that is the mentality of how the politicians sell the politics to them. Una no worry, una now we own people them, one kana we turn. So the people are expecting, because they have been led to believe these politicians, that the politicians are dividing us. That's what the white man used. That's what the politicians are using. We went at then a diaspora, then they look then they set we against the one day where then our home base. Then give we name, we not JC, then our home base. They don't set among we. When they're ready for get their money, then can't we the JC them. When they them, the home base them for fetch we the JC them. But together we can do this. Sierra Leoneans are motivated right now. I'm telling you, I see it. It can happen. I see it. You get for see to believe it. If you see, buy what they tell you, see it. If you want to come aboard, we can put the people together. We have people, we have lawyers. Mr. Shilon is one. We can draw the graph, we can put the plan, we can have engineers, we can draw the building. We can do it in 1 year. We center. If every Sierra Leonean buys shares into that business, not to take government, because the government they're not serious. When time reach for pull them, we put all one way can not do na contracts. We not come for car losses. No. We can do this. We can do this affordable for the people, saving our people's life, giving back to humanity. When you did it, you are part of that thing. It makes you feel good that I'm doing something for mankind, for change, for make an impact, for make the world, for change and leave the world a better place, for heal the world. We can do this, says Michael Jackson. Make it a better place for me and for you. Too many people are suffering. Too many people. Too little people get everything in a song where I don't know if about Mali Bonnie, where one of them get. Too many people get why too many people. Enough. Let them able, at least let them go try for them. Say, I try, then I die. We can do this, Sierra Leoneans. I see it. I see it. But no, take 2 last callers. We can do this. I want to motivate you here today. I want to motivate you here today to say we can do this. It is in you. Find yourself. Leave your egos at the door. The rock of Gibraltar, the faults, the mistakes, the excuses, the bad experiences. Let us start afresh. When I go sleep over this tonight, do you want to be part of that? We can do it. We can do it. We can build it. We can do it. We get shares. I'm telling you, my mother gets shares. My grandpa don't die 30 years ago. My mother still collects the shares from a British company. My stepdaddy just died 3 years ago. My mama collects the shares from a British company where they work in Sierra Leone. We can do this. You shares, you can pass on to your generation. We can do this. That's why white people are getting richer. To whom you give your money is to whom you give your power. Knowledge is power. We can do this. I'm here to motivate you today. Say we can do this. Enough of government. People then we get money, but we get for put us for something we're sustainable. We go create wealth. We go create jobs. Until we picking them because poverty and sickness it do so for poor. We can do this. Many other things we can do this. We can put our money together, private. Because remember what I talk say the middle class has disappeared. The middle class, our people were private people. They're not in the inside politics. They were private. They built wealth. They generated wealth. Unfortunately, wealth is hard to transfer in Africa, in Sierra Leone especially. But we can do this. They might have houses and land. But the country, the whatever, but we can transfer wealth to our children and our generation. Even Nusa Yudenaya, you can do this. We can do this, Sierra Leoneans. We can do this. I'm here to motivate you today. I'm moved, I'm touched, I'm excited, I'm happy. We can do this. So now we go to 2 more callers, please. I'm sorry if I'm not able to take everybody else on, but I'm just too excited. My brains are going. Why right now? So I need for take me anxiety medication. I'll calm down small. Take a deep breath. Think happy thoughts, Fadima. Think happy thoughts. We can do this, Sierra. Caller, good evening. Name please and where you call from. We can do
Miss
this.
Fadima.
Yes,
God help you. I know say you're really glad it is net, but
yes.
our country, the way how we country done, they let God help we. For that country, the mindset of people in that country, the idea good, now good initiative, but I'm afraid this same politician then go down everything. I'm telling you, they will try for block on our back.
Yes, we will fetch them. This time we will.
Yes.
Private
social media don't try a lot, but we I still get a lot for do because well, now one thing I can say, young people are then don't take that country they like saying that their personal property no sooner as they get power. Like that lady in video where gonna be play. I mean this one are they talking back with open minded say nah then so I mean the SLPP people we to make a raise this. There was a lady we set a forum, but now a political forum where they against the bad thing the way they do. Then second publicly. Then go to media how the lady then begin time the court saying waiting the cause and in fact now waiting then get the laws the way then court. Where that guy we call himself the hungry lion within media they talk say how this government pass and UN they can between there and so forth. Then say well they go investigate that case. Have you ever heard of anything of short? No, we are not going now people we know there for them. Now then they can always go against. But we talk for them, yeah, okay. It should not get no problem. Let's see how the mentality of this government, waiting then they portray. Then the negative part always then they portray. No media know the way they talk good about them. No social media on earth know the way they talk good about them. The bad part is the good. How on that? Sierra Leone, if you go to the history, Salone not for day this way, Salone did so today. We know we don't born it, we don't know. And we think you serve that country, we not get culture, we not get history. All anything they don't die from. Me say as it me was the only Salone history where they tell we small and Bible. After that, that's the end. We don't know how we don't come about. We don't even know the meaning. Okay, the meaning of the we flag in colonial since primary Alana, which is okay. I don't know again with Alana, but with Salone history. And the name of the country, how it come about. I think that's all. But if you go to the main history of Salone, you don't know much. Ask them class 6, in fact, them from 6 picking them today. Ask them if they tell you much about the history of Salone. That's not it. Too pathetic. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Another caller, please. Another caller. can bring down the Rock of Gibraltar. We can do it. We can do it.
Thank you.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yeah,
Hello,
good
caller. Go
evening.
ahead, please. Yeah.
Yeah, your initiative na laudable one, but knowing the mentality of Sierra Leoneans, I doubt it. I know I'm just be pessimistic, but recently will support if you start them. I want to come to the tribalism where somebody mentioned, but say they attack Mr. Shilo. Now, tribalism is okay. But the politicians and they fan the embers of tribalism. I will tell you this for free. We social network in Sierra Leone amongst ourselves. There is no tribalism. When they married Fulaman they married Fini. It is everywhere. But the politicians and they fan the embers of tribalism, then they instigate them and some. One thing I want to say, people are not oblivious of the fact that this government, now they nobody practice tribalism. When the former government left me, they're not the same thing. 2007, when they assumed power, IB Cargo was then the information minister. The interview on 98.1 say why the government populated by Northerners and more so Bombali district. It's not they vote for them. It's okay. Now they vote because they vote for them. So let people know the hype tribalism. Me na Northerner. Bombali district come out. But let them know the hype tribalism. Like say it is only peculiar to this government. No, they were also practicing it. They were also practicing it. It was glaringly clear. People were seeing it. And the aspect of the issue way up in Guinea, say it will replicate in Sierra Leone, because they don't try in 1997, they see how it failed woefully. Then, secondly, the political culture of the Francophone and the Anglophone is different. It's possible you study political science or you study the political culture. The Anglophone, we don't go ahead of them. We don't transform. The Francophone, they still believe in our dictatorship. And when you watch Burkina Faso, Togo, now Cote d'Ivoire, you see the trend. It is different from with the Anglophone. The Anglophone different. Not that the military, the nurturing idea, but now the repercussion. Now, Sierra Leone, we now do not give in economy with the run. Therefore, realize that in the event of then calamity, then they work fast how we do so. So they're not going to even think about that. Say we now do not give in. Since when we born up to this present moment, the country still now do not give in. We not ever get budget surplus. I'm not denying you in the colonial rule or the early 60s when we get independent, but we not get budget surplus. It is always budget deficit. 70% donor, 30% the national budget. So we're not going to think about that. Their comfort zones in the diaspora, they fanning the flames of discord, showing fanning of discord. They are just dreaming. But let's say alone go into war at this time. When you go know the repercussion, we go there at the country.
Thank you very much. Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. No say we don't say we'll take last caller. I guess say somebody else then at the line. We'll just want give. Let me give them. What do y'all think on my co-host? Because I'm excited right now. I'm motivated right now. I see money. I see vision. I see. What do you think, people? I mean, this is the voice of Zerlin. What do you think? We get for that property. What do you think? What do you not think?
Well,
What do
we
you
can
say?
take
I
one
know
more
they.
call.
One more. Let me take last caller. Sorry, you're not the last one, the bunya, the whatever. But I'm really motivated. I see it. And for you to see it, call her name, please, and also they call it from.
Yeah, so I'm studying my this now, unanimous caller, the call from Arizona. I'm
Yes,
on.
Mr. Anonymous.
Li-
Yes.
yes, I'm one of you guys listeners, regular listeners. I appreciate you guys' work.
Thank
Very
you
great.
so much.
You know,
Thank
you
you,
guys,
Anonymous.
you
Hey.
guys are an amazing job. You know, today I'm the first time for call anyway, and
Okay.
reason why I called that previous caller. I mean, the one-way call. I mean, he was a little distorted. Well, he made a very good point where you very, very happy about, and that's kind of like moved me personally. Because these are the things we some of we they look for in a salon, you know, the diaspora contribution, like the point where you bring up as for invest in a salon through this medical initiative or any other thing we as a union for come in point and do this time around, you know, not to just where politics can, we want to go and contribute into politics. That's why people are Sierra Leone not take we serious, to be honest with you. Not that we sometimes in the opposed we would have taken personal because 9 out of 10, most of one go, yes, we all do with private investment and the which is good. But when it comes to national issues, it's very, very here. So with this initiative, where this person come up with, and where you so very much, you know, happy about, and some of we very, very interested. So all we look up to now is like how it's not the platform, how this was set up, and how we come on board and be part of it. So they look up to that.
With a prayer with the guidance of God, we go do this. We have people among us. I'm gonna reach out to people that I know, I think, you know, can wait in a call. How do we go forward with this? This can happen. Thank you so much. This can happen, my brother. This can happen. Mr. Anonymous, are you finished?
Yes, I mean, yes.
Okay.
So I'm like I say, I look and follow up from the platform and see what's in at the next plan and how we go get involved for push and go forward. I thank you very much for the contribution.
Thank you so much, Anonymous. And thank you all, thank you all, thank you all, thank you all. I appreciate every single one. I appreciate every person. I appreciate human beings. I was not always like this. I was not always like this, but I changed my mind. I transformed my mind. I see life different because your touch becomes your thought, your thoughts becomes your feelings, and your feelings becomes your action. How they think, and I saw you they feel, and I saw you they act. And this was a deliberate thing for me because I told you all I suffer from mental health. And this is the deliberate thing for me because perception is reality. How you see things, and so you think. But there are times in life we get for grow and we get for shift. Be in our comfort zone. We cannot always stay in our comfort zone because when we stay in our comfort zone, we don't venture into things, we don't see things, we don't get change, we don't get mistakes. We just stay also comfortable. We don't grow. But in life, we have to grow. In life, we get for impact. In life, we get for create. In life, we get for explore. We get things can happen. And one person in word, that's why I say a word is a seed. Something it take one light bulb for let a Chris man get in mind back. One thing will click together, and that's how ideas come forth. That's how solutions to a problem come forth. And this call I put out there say, if every diaspora give $200, well, I say yes, it is true. But diasporas I had to give. Diasporas I had because I know sometimes to collect money, some feel appreciated, so they give them money there, they give their money to their group, but they will not give to the other person, they will not give over here or this idea or that, they only give outside and they get praise. So I say, why don't we put our money where we can get shares back? We buy shares into the business. It is shares, it is investment. That's how white people get it. To whom you give your money, so you give your power. Money is power. Yes, money not to God, but money now they make you sit on and work with the big boys and the big girls. Money now they make give influence for you able to do more things. Money is not evil. Yes, now with the die farm, but we want to make changes for make things better for the next people where they come. God self go gladly for you when you they do something for make things better. For let people then get the knowledge for able for make themselves for provide for themselves. So that is why I'm excited because there's a light bulb going on in my head. I see it and I believe it, and I want you to see it with me. And we go come together, we go put things together. We have people, any Sierra Leonean that is listening or will listen to this later. If you know of somebody, anybody, we can't be waiting for the white man to bring investment because when they take them, then they can't go back in their country. But we want something where the day where we people and go able for use. We are that place like home. The government has disappointed us over and over and over and over again. We keep complaining, but the caller from Australia say where waiting at the find a solution to the problem, and then you go able to solve the problem. And if we don't, that's where money comes in. Because anything when a problem, when you invent something, those inventors, that's how they get rich. There is a problem, somebody invents something, everybody buys into it, and then everybody gain out of it. That is how you do it. We can buy shares because some people don't want to give them money for nothing. We can buy shares. There are legal people that are going to be involved. There are every kind of critic because this is business. People then will get all these people that deal with all this financial business. We get lawyer paperwork. Now you legal shares. And thank God we'll be in the diaspora. So anybody will make anybody, there is the court, and the courts they work. Not for say and buy. Now Africa, you go give money. Now yeah, you give money. Now business, we go invest into Africa. And we get shares. We can do this. The panelists, them million done for today. I love you all. Remember, God is love. Go beyond beautiful. Go beyond you. If we get for start the change, we get for leave our egos at the door. We get for change our mindset. We get for start becoming, seeing things different. Get out of our comfort zone. And we can do this. Till next week, if I see her the shine, no jealous me, on yourself. Tomorrow the sun will day over you, the thing there over me. But today is our professor's birthday, and we get for celebrate professor. And Mr. Shilon, I pass on to you first. Then I go come back. Like you, the last one first. Then I go come back. Look and celebrate Kutubu, because Kutubu is a blessing to we all not blessing to each other. But Kutubu is a look at me and my uncle right there. Well, this was one of our niece's wedding where we go. Kutubu was small because Kutubu grew up na Fobe. Kutubu grew up to we people them among we people them. And yesterday they decide for celebrate them. You know, it's good to be celebrated when you're alive than when you're dead. Let we embrace one another. Let we appreciate one another. Let we appreciate the things we have inside us. So to Mr. Shilon, I pass on. Last word, then we can celebrate Kuturu. Thank you all so much. We appreciate you. Now join me. Please flood the timeline of our every media way to make happy birthday to our own honorary Professor Kutubu. Many more years. Cheers, whatever you want to say. But Mr. Shilon, I pass on to you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Fadima. I hope it's been a wonderful show because we're out of time.
Yes.
But I better wish Professor happy birthday earlier. So I have said all the good words, but I can never say enough. So Professor, happy birthday again. And I hope you continue to be around a long time and for make the wonderful contributions that we make so intellectually to the community here and abroad, back home. So with respect to the issues that we'll touch on today, hopefully we'll get the opportunity for touch on some of the issues until next time. So good night, everybody, or good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Thank you very much. We appreciate the participation. So, Professor, I think I turn it over to you.
Right, now for just thank all the supporters, fans, the listeners, and the audience, especially the one that we can make their own contribution today. We really tell them, Boku thinking, and this now it was in the place of all get time. We all can talk. We will, agree for disagree. But we think we'll get the discussion go further. We'll all go in an atmosphere of respect, an atmosphere of camaraderie. Because this now the difference is, we claim say we go school, we forget the cognitive ability for disagree with you, like Mr. Shilon or Madam Fadima, without being disagreeable. No, Madam Fadima, this point I will bring so I'm not convinced. So now it pays that for come up with reasons for convince me. You job that for convince me. You do not to do a condescension, not to true dismissive culture, anything. But in any case, today I made discussion on I really like a very robust. Let God make law they come back like this. And let we people them, because without them, then they talk of viewers. Without them, and we personally appreciate them. I really tell them thank you. And by God power again, next week, we'll come again and, we want more Pastor issues and share that way. That man talks, say, let's say, think down, let's say, go answer the Kennedy call. Okay, now this is the part that we did do. Now this we did do. Now your contribution is for SALONE before now. A very good idea that let God put in blessing there. Let that resonate with me. Oh, not to just Washington here no more. Everywhere whether they be England, Germany, America, wherever, no, all go do something. So we come over see that this will do for country. So back to you guys again.
Mute.
I am not muted. Somebody muted me. I am not muted.
Right.
I want to drink to the health. We need to see more moves from Professor. Professor, we want to see you for dance for we. Because somebody offer you a bottle of wine and say your choice of wine. But I don't know if Kutu thinking alpha. So I don't know if it is.
Well, the problem is even yesterday said that the same thing.
Somebody offer you, he say of your choice, whatever choice. You go back in the comments and look at the person and tell them, say whatever choice of one, they say it treats to you. To drink to your health, to drink to many more blessed and blissful years, more wonderful years, abundance, good health. I pray for God. The things that you're doing now, reach you picking them in grand picking them, because what you give to mankind, it pass on to generation into generation. For those of you who don't know, to get two wonderful children and a granddaughter, not son or daughter, I get. And a grand thing is a blessing for this age. So we say cheers to you, Professor. We love you. But because you the Jaye yesterday, we want to sing happy birthday for you, but we want you dance for me. Because
yes.
Now Jaye business with Jaye, shake the body small. So you are drink to health. I say cheers to long life and many more.
Amen.
Cheers.
Let God bless you now.
So let us celebrate Professor, man. Let us dance. Team, give me a birthday. And Kutubu, you get for dance. You get for grab and dance. Because you have been DJ before a long time ago. That one they don't know. Kutubu be the rock the dance all them. Professor dance for me, but the other side of Professor TV. Let me Jaye is small. So everything there should be laughter. So everything there should be fun. Having fun, leading and making a difference. So what do you get? Play a music for me, please. So
very, very many happy returns.